He's a 4-pitch pitcher, and he does a great job of keeping the ball in the yard. Doesn't give up many home runs. Just 1 home run allowed in the minor leagues, and he's very pitch efficient. He will throw a lot of strikes, and his goal tonight is to pound that strike zone.
And here it is. A major league career begins, and a strike taken on the inside corner as the 25-year-old right-hander is now officially in the majors, and obviously a very big moment. And to be able to throw a strike on the first one, that doesn't hurt the cause either. Scudero leading it off. 3-game hit streak for Marcos Scudero. He will take the pitch down low for a ball. The Orioles coming away with a win last night. Great performance by Jeremy Guthrie. And now the Orioles would like to get a solid outing into the middle part of this ball game, at least, by Jason Birkin. 1-1 delivery down to third and foul, and the count will go to 1-2.
So far so good. Couple of strikes to Scudero, and Birkin's out in front. And he came to the ballpark today with Nolan Reimold about 1:30 in the afternoon. Drove in, went into the players' parking lot, and made his way to the clubhouse for the first time.
What an enormous day for any player, obviously, who gets to that point. The 1-2 delivery. Scudero will take that one and foul it off down the line. Jason Birkin came up from AAA, 1-1, 5.63 ERA, 2 starts at AA to begin the year. Then at AAA went 2-0 with a 1.05 ERA. A 6-round selection, first-year player draft in 06. The 1-2 delivery by Birkin, and again that'll be plunked into the seats. It will be a foul ball.
One thing about Birkin that's interesting is his background as a multi-sport athlete. Played basketball, was the quarterback in football, in fact an all-state quarterback. I think those are tremendous assets for your leadership skills, being able to direct the basketball offense and be the quarterback in a high school football situation.
1 ball, 2 strike count. Scudero trying to get a look at his pitches here. And Scudero will take that down the line and right, not deep. Coming in, Nick Markakis. Huff is over, and again that will end up in the seats for a foul ball. We talked about Marcos Scudero and the job he has done in that leadoff spot for this team. Among leadoff hitters in all of the majors, he leads in walks for leadoff hitters, second in runs, and ranks 4th in on-base percentage. He has really done an outstanding job for this ball club, taking over that #1 spot in the lineup. Birkins with a 1-2. And Scudero will take it down low for a ball and a 2 ball, 2 strike count. Keeping Scudero off makes a huge difference in the game, and obviously for Birkin trying to get through the first inning relatively quickly. That'll just get the adrenaline flow down a little bit and give you a chance to just think about the game. 2-2 delivery. That's a shot to the gap in left center field. That's going to fall in. It'll take a hop all the way to the wall. Retrieved by Adam Jones and into second base. Marcos Scudero in a fought-for 2-bagger.
Scudero had a good at-bat, and last night Aaron Hill had several good at-bats, and he got it started early on, and that's a line drive right up the middle. Cesar Astures made a great play on it, robbing him. That was a base hit kind of off the bat, but you can see how he squares up on this ball and drives it to center field. Also caught, but boy, he had some good swings last night. He leads the American League in multi-hit games, and he has really been a boon to this offense this year, healthy again after concussion last season.
Leads the majors in hits with 72. Jen Hill will swing in a good pitch down and into it. We have the 2 leaders in the American League in multi-hit games playing in this ball game. Hill for one, Adam Jones for the Orioles the other. They are 1 and 2 in the American League in multi-hit ball games. The delivery to him, that's going to be caught by Huff. Chance for 2, not quite. Good play by Astures to get over there and covered, and there's one away.
One thing that Jason Birkin's going to know is the defense behind in the big leagues is much more efficient and much more skilled than in the outfield. It's Reimold, Jones, and Markakis, and around the infield, Moore and Astures on the left side. Robertson, Aubrey Huff, who's been exceptional defensively at first base, and the veteran Greg Zahn gets the honor of catching the rookie tonight. Aubrey Huff timed his jump perfectly, and Cesar Astures is right at the bag, but Scudero gets back in time, so he's not doubled off.
Runner on at second base, and the pitch will be taken for a strike by Lynn. Adam Lynn was not supposed to be hitting in the #3 hole. The original lineup by Cito Gaston had Rios batting third. Rios is not playing in the ball game tonight. He is out, so Lynn got moved up in the lineup. Pitch will be taken down low for a ball. Rios is all right. Just a decision that needed to have a day off.
Well, you got a day game tomorrow. Rios has played about every game, so Cito Gaston felt like it was important to get him off his legs for one game.
1 ball, 1 strike count. Birkin working out of the stretch. Scudero at second base. And Lynn will take it away for a ball. So Birkin joins a growing list of Orioles making their major league debut this season. And there probably will be more to come as the season rolls along, and the Orioles will be in need of some more pitching in the immediate future. Perhaps we'll talk about that as we roll along in the ball game. Here's the 2-1 delivery. That one towards the gap. That's going to fall in. That'll go to the deepest part of the ballpark. Scudero will come around to score easily. And a double by Lind and an RBI. And the Jays have a 1-0 lead.
It's a pretty good offensive team that's been scuffling to score runs lately. They've scored just 1.6 runs in their last 7 games. That's an off-speed pitch that's down in the zone. Adam Lind stays on it and drives it to the wall in center. Scudero comes around to score for Lynn. It's his 16th double and 35th RBI of the season.
Lynn now ends up at second base, and that will bring up the cleanup batter, Vernon Wells. This Toronto team last night went 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position, and they did it in the first inning. On the road trip, they are 0-7. Their batting average with runners in scoring position at 138 prior to that hit. Cito Gaston's team has not been able to get runners in. They've done it here in the first again. Wells will take the pitch up high for a ball, and it'll go to 1-1.
Gary, they're getting their hits. They're just not coming up with timely hits. And Vernon Wells drove in a run last night, but he has had a tough go of it lately. He's not been able to come up with an awful lot of run-scoring base hits.
The delivery 1-2. Wells, of all people, has only had 1 RBI in his last 17 games. And that was the RBI that he picked up in the ball game last night. You see the lowest average with runners in scoring position. You would not think Vernon Wells would be in that group at 172.
Now, you look at the averages. Michael Young down in the 120s, and Dioner Navarro's had a very disappointing start to his season.
Here's the 1-2 delivery to him. Good pitch. Looked like a hard slider away, and had some real bite on it.
Yeah, it sure did. And this is one of his best pitches. It's a very hard breaking ball. It's got real tight spin on it, and it goes away. Not much movement. That is a true slider right there. It's got a little break. Take a look at the Exmo, how he's out in front of it. The pitch isn't there yet. He's swinging at a fastball. It gets slider velocity and strikes out.
Our Famous Dave's Exmo. Come into Famous Dave's for the best tasting, most award-winning ribs in America. Here is Kevin Millard. Former Oriole, did not play last night. Gets a greeting from the youngster, and that'll get a nice hand from the crowd as Millard goes down.
Well, this never hurts because obviously Millard didn't know anything about this kid, and all of a sudden he gets a little shin music to start the night. Certainly not expecting that. He bails out late, but that'll really get you into the ball game quickly.
Now throw that hard slider away. Millard takes that one to third base. Melvin Moore is up. Long throw over, and that will retire the side. And Jason Birkin has inning pitched under his belt at the major league level. We'll take a look at the lineup for the O's coming up. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for the Jays, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Roberts, Jones, and Markakis. Mora, Huff, and Wigginton. Reimold, Zahn, and his tourist. Melvin Mora, the .287 lifetime against the Jays.
Now it's time for the PNC scouting report for the left-hander Ricky Romero. He throws fastball, good sinking fastball, a curve slider, and a changeup. He's got great movement on the first base side of home plate. And he's got a very good changeup, one that he's got a lot of confidence in. He can throw it any time. 3 starts. This is his 4th. He's got a 2-0 record.
Romero delivers the left-hander, and it's away to Brian Roberts. We really have 2 pitchers in this ball game trying to make their marks. I mean, here's Romero, who is expected to be around and move himself into the rotation, but because of injury had to come out. So he's just making his 4th major league start, and Birkin on the other side making his 1st.
Yeah, and the thing about Ricky Romero, his injury was an oblique strain. It wasn't pitching related, so they're not too concerned about his arm. They just want him to get his feet back on the ground here in the big leagues.
24-year-old left-hander, and the delivery, a fastball to Roberts, taken inside. So in both cases, these 2 lineups tonight are facing pitchers that they have not seen before, and there's always the discussion about who does that benefit the most. So we go to our catcher. Pitch is taken outside. Buck Martinez, who gets the advantage?
The pitcher has the advantage if he's aggressive. If he throws a lot of strikes and uses all of his pitches. Hitters need some at-bats against a pitcher to get a feel for movement, velocity, and speed, and the velocity of the breaking ball. So you can be aggressive as a pitcher. You can have the advantage, except
Brian Roberts
is hitting.
That's right. Okay. Yeah, always an exception.
Only when Brian Roberts
Only when Brian Roberts. You got to get that in. That's the exception. Good coverage right there by my catcher.
Let me try the defense. Blue Jays defense. Lind, Wells, and England. He got the late start as Alex Reyes was originally in the lineup. Left side, the veteran Scotty Rowland. Marco Scudo is the shortstop. Aaron Hill, an all-star caliber player in my estimation. Great first baseman in Lyle Overbay. What a job Rod Barajas has done for this team behind the plate, behind it, and at the plate as he's swinging a hot bat. He will call the signs for Ricky Romero.
So the Orioles get the leadoff single. This game is following right along with last night. Last night, Toronto got a run on a couple of hits in the first inning. They did the same thing here. That one taken to the line, curving, and it is a foul ball. The Orioles came right back last night. Roberts got a leadoff double, and Jones a single. And Bryan would score later in the inning on a ground ball. Dave Tremblay's team, they are 1-3 against Toronto so far, having been swept by the Jays in Canada, but getting the win here last night. And it's going to be a miserable night for the guys on the field. This is where you got one out. It's 54 degrees, 54 at game time, with a wind blowing in and a mist and fog settling in. 0-1 count on Jones. And the throw over. That is very close to a balk right there by Romero. Under the interpretation being used this year, if that front foot in any way starts towards the plate, never mind going behind the pitching slab, if you start him towards the plate and then throw over, a balk can be called. The delivery is swung out again. It fouled off late on the fastball, and the count will go to 0-2 on Jones.
Well, Adams having the right approach. You can see Romero's fastball up to 93 miles an hour. He's not a soft tossing left-hander by any means. He's got enough zip on his fastball to keep you honest, and then he's got that moving fastball and changeup down and away that will get you out in front.
Orioles beat the starting left-hander last night. They are 5-6 against left-handers now. And a chopper to second base, not hit hard. Hill one, quick relay, and a good one. What a fine play by Scudero, who knew he had to hustle that throw.
That's the first double play that Adam Jones has hit into this year, and it took a good turn around the bag at second base. Aaron Hill shovels it quickly to Scudero, who comes across the bag and clears the path to make a strong throw just in time to get Adam Jones. Adam Jones was one of 6 players that hadn't hit into a double play until that ground ball to Aaron Hill.
And now there are 5. Nick Markakis with the bases empty. Nick had an 0 for 4 in the ball game last night. You see the double plays started in the American League on the leaderboard. With good ground ball pitching, you get the chance, and Scudero is up there at the top in most double play started in the American League at shortstop.
And there's Cesar Astures tied with the other 4 shortstops with 14.
Markakis off the fist, fouls it back. Barajas coming and will not have a play. Markakis doing the extra work before the game today, and not that he doesn't always, but a little extra just to check his swing, figure out what's going on, not making the contact that he would like. Still up there with that .303 average you saw, but did have the 0 for 4 in the ball game last night. And here in the month of May, the numbers have come down a little bit, as I guess they necessarily had to after the way he hit in the month of April. .234 in May for Markakis. 0-2 delivery to him, breaking ball. Romero was headed to the dugout, thought he had him on that one.
Yeah, Jeff Kellogg, the home plate umpire, didn't like what he saw. Romero thought he'd split the strike zone. Looked like a pretty good pitch, but it missed somewhere, probably away.
1-2 with 2 down. Markakis will take that one down low for a ball, and will even up the count at 2-2. Markakis continues up on the leaderboard. Lots of categories coming into the game. Markakis 6th in RBIs, 7th in runs, 4th best average with runners in scoring position in the American League. 2-2 delivery, ground ball to short off the end of the bat. Scudero up. And a fine inning for Romero coming off the DL. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on after 1. Jays up 1-0. The chance to win $99 worth of American Classic scratch-off tickets from the Maryland Lottery for every Oriole home run hit tonight. You can have a chance to win too. Enter by logging in at massonsports.com. Good luck, Sally. Jason Birkin ready, and the delivery is a fastball strike. Scott Rowland 0 for 4 in the ball game last night. Scott, before the game today, one smiling baseball player because he finally feels as close to 100% as he's been in a long time. And the pitch is a strike on the outside corner. And if he can stay that way, he will be a big part of this Toronto lineup.
Yeah, he has been an all-star Gold Glove defender, but he's been battling shoulder problems the last several seasons.
Had an 0 for 4 last night, 0 for his last 6. And will take the ball in the dirt. And the count will go to a ball and 2 strikes. Overbay and Barajas will follow against the Orioles. 25-year-old right-hander, minor league record of 25-18 in his minor league work. That's through the 4 years that he pitched there. 1-2 delivery. Fastball that got away from everybody and bounces away. 2-ball, 2-strike count.
Jason Birkin was a 6th round pick in 2006 out of Clemson University. He actually pitched for Clemson in the College World Series against Cal State Fullerton.
2-2 delivery outside, 3-2 on Rowland.
Cal State Fullerton is the school where Ricky Romero went to school. And here are some of the Clemson Tigers that have played. And Chris Benson, who pitched here with the Orioles. Khalil Green, who's in St. Louis. Jeff Baker of Colorado. Tony Sipp. Quite a few baseball players have come out of there, including Matthew LeCroy, one of my favorites from the Minnesota Twins. It was a DH. He played there with Billy Koch and Chris Benson when they were all together at Clemson. But Birkin was the captain of that 2006 Clemson Tiger baseball team.
And the College World Series time as the regionals will be beginning. Took that one inside, so the leadoff man on again as Roland will draw the walk, and we'll check in with Amber.
Well, Gary, I have an update on Koji Urahara. We were told before today's game that it is highly doubtful he will be able to make his start on Thursday. His hamstring is still very sore. He was unable to throw his scheduled BP session today before the game. He did get out on the field, was able to work out, play catch, and run a little bit, but he most likely will not be able to go Thursday. So as to who will get that start, well, it could come from the bullpen. It could be a guy like Mark Hendrickson, although Dave Tremblay said he wasn't exactly crazy about holding one of those guys back for these next two games. So it will be determined whether or not Koji will have to go on the DL. If he does, a roster move will be made. Gary?
That one taken to left field is going to fall in for a base hit by Overbay, and going over to third as that ball slows down. Throw came to the wrong base. The throw by Reimold into third allowed not only Roland to reach third, but Overbay to get down to second base on that one that fell in left field.
Yeah, when you have to run this far to make a play on it, you have to assume the base runner at first is going to go to third. Reimold's got a long run, but makes a throw to third base. His proper throw is to second base to keep Overbay from advancing into scoring position. He had no chance of getting Roland, but you have to understand that Lyle Overbay doesn't run that well. Keep him at first base. Keep the double play in order.
So Birkin in trouble here with runners at second and third and nobody out. Barajas will take the pitch outside for a ball. A 1-0 lead already on the board. 3 hits in the ball game for the Jays. So they gave him a single on that. Overbay gets a single and advances on the throw. Barajas had a 1-for-4 in the ballgame last night, and he will take the pitch on the outside corner for a strike. So Birkin gets tested right away. The infield will play back. The Orioles will surrender the run on the ground ball in order to get an out here with nobody out. Roland, the lead runner, and Overbay at second base. 1 ball, 1 strikeout on Barajas, and he's going to loop that one into left field. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Run will score. RBI for Barajas, and Toronto takes a 2-0 lead. Couple of dying quail into left field here, sustaining the no-out rally in the second inning.
Barajas has done a good job fighting off pitches. That pitch is up and in, and he's strong enough just to fight it off and flare it in front of Nolan Reimold. Scott Roland scores easily as he went first to third on Overbay's hit. Overbay moves to third base, so it's still first and third, nobody out here.
Barajas has been a red-hot hitter. He's hitting over 300, and that's his 24th RBI. Still first and third, still nobody out. And Joe Inglet, who is playing in right field, batting ninth. Inglet swings through that one for a strike. Inglet is a call-up recently. He's had only 3 at-bats and appeared in 3 games. He has no offensive numbers going, as Inglet was playing at AAA, called up in the 22nd. 7 games, AAA, 310. Hamstring problem had affected the number of games he had even at the AAA level. So Inglet's just trying to get himself back into season playing shape.
Yeah, this is his first start in the big leagues, and he's a guy that's very versatile, can play all around in the outfield.
Jason Birkin in his first major league game. Couple of runs off him, looking for a ground ball. Inglet will take it. All the Orioles thought they had a strike on that. The only one who didn't was Jeff Kellogg, the home plate umpire.
Take a look at the Madison pitch track. Might have caught the upper limits of that strike zone, but Kellogg felt it was off the plate.
Count will go to 1-2. Outfield swung around to left, fairly shallow on Inglet, and he will foul that one away. Double clutching on the off-speed pitch, and it will stay at a ball and 2 strikes.
Well, one thing about Birkin is he's not timid about throwing the ball over. He has thrown a lot of strikes with his breaking ball, his changeup, and his fastball. He got a ball up to Scudero after really making some good pitches. That came in the first inning when Scudero doubled, and he came around to score on the errant the Adam Lind double.
The delivery to him, swung on and missed. Good movement, pitch down and away, and there's his second major league strikeout, first in the inning.
This is a changeup, and watch how far out in front England is. That ball is nowhere close to the plate. He's swinging at the arm action. A 1-2 changeup, very effective pitch for Birkin as it moves away from the left-handed hitter.
And that will bring up the leadoff man, Marco Scutaro. He has already doubled, extended his hit streak to 4 games. Came across to score in the first inning. 1 down, first and third. Off-speed breaking ball will miss outside, ball 1. Scutaro now 3 hits, 6 at bats in the 2 games here. He's batting at .283, 5 home runs and 22 RBIs. He's .297 with runners in scoring position. So these are the chances that Toronto's had that they've not been able to convert on during their 7-game losing streak they are now in. And they have scored 3 or fewer runs in their last 8 ball games. Their offense has just been abysmal. And Birkin hope it stays that way. Here's the 2-0 delivery. That's a ground ball, chance for 2. Is Torres to Roberts, relay, and a big double play. Perkins gets the ground ball that he needs. 1 run in on a couple of hits with a base runner left on. A 2-0 lead for the Jays. President of baseball operations for the Baltimore Orioles, joining us here in the half inning. Andy, right to the hot stuff. You got some pitchers going down here recently. Does it push you to move the younger pitchers up that have been so talked about sooner than you might have wanted to?
Yeah, I was hoping for a little more time, to be honest with you, but we're satisfied with the kind of progress that our minor league pitchers have had. Their records have really been outstanding. Circumstances have dictated that they get here maybe a little quicker than I would have initially anticipated. Koji may or may not be able to go Thursday, probably doubtful, in which case we'll have to introduce yet another starting pitcher from Norfolk into the circumstance. But they've really handled themselves well at AAA, and I'm actually satisfied with the way Jason's throwing the ball today, and hope that he continues.
Why was it Birkin over some of the others? He wasn't on the roster when you made the move, but you had a roster spot or two. Why did you decide on Birkin?
Well, a big part of that, Buck, was the fact that, he'd been pitching well at AAA. That's the most important thing. We've always looked at him as a young pitching prospect. His record at Bowie at AA last year speaks for that. He came out of a college program, and he's logged a lot of minor league innings, and it was his turn to pitch. So there was sort of a confluence of a lot of events.
The delivery, Melvin Moore, a comebacker, that'll be snagged, and Romero will make the underhanded flip to get the out there. As regards the younger players, especially the pitchers we've heard so much about, are you satisfied so far with their growth at this point in the minor leagues?
Yeah, well, very much so far this year. Generally, if you have 8 or 10 really highly touted prospects or guys you think highly of, you're going to have a fairly large, you're going to have 60-40 in terms of who's doing well, who's doing just fair. We're very fortunate that almost 100% of the guys that we're really focused on are handling themselves very well.
He got a hold of that one way back right field, and goodbye, home run. Oh, what a shot as Aubrey Huff launches one off the left-hander. There weren't many fans in that area to gather one because there aren't many fans normally there. And the Orioles will cut this lead in half. It is down to 2-1. Aubrey will want you on the air now for every at-bat he has.
Well, you take a look at the breaking ball. It stayed on the inner half of the plate, and Aubrey turned on it. He's had a tough time against left-handers so far this year, but there is no mystery to that ball and where it's going to end up. Look like it's short hop Utah Street.
Wow. Aubrey Huff gets it, a 2-1 ball game. That one sliced into right field for a base hit. As Ty Wigginton took one the other way and gets a single. Are you always this offensive when you're on the air?
No, this is why you always like to come when we're hitting. What's the worst that can happen? We're out real quick, 3 outs, and off we go. But I couldn't see Aubrey's ball, but I heard it. Yeah. I can tell you that much.
Had great sound. Now Nolan Reimels is hitting, and here's another guy that got off to a great start. AAA, he had a good spring, and it's got to be encouraging that you can see him come up here and handle himself so well here in his first taste of big league ball.
Yeah, he's done terrific. His numbers at AAA were just really dominant, and he's handled himself well here at the early goings.
Is this somebody who has surprised you at all, or are the expectations where you thought they would be for him?
He's always been highly regarded in this system. He was a high draft pick. His numbers at AA last year were outstanding. He had terrific numbers at AAA, and he's had some tough pitchers to face. Sabathia, Greinke, he hasn't had it easy, but he's handled himself well, and the way he's swinging the bat at Norfolk, that's probably no great surprise.
And then he hit his first major league home run against Mariano Rivera. That doesn't hurt for your confidence by any means, but he's an outfielder. Much easier to play in the outfield, and certainly there's been so much talk all along about Matt Wieters and moving him in the big leagues as a catcher. What are the situation with Matt Wieters, and where do you stand as an organization now with maybe your top prospect?
Well, we're getting close, but part of the fact is that we've got so many young starters here that Matt has caught at AA or AAA going through the system. His bat is starting to heat up. He has hit 4 home runs here in the last 8 or 10 days. He's swinging it good, and as a matter of fact, really right now we're planning on Friday to introduce him to Major League Baseball right here in Camden Yards against the Tigers.
So Wieters is coming up on Friday.
That is our plan at the present time. If everything, unless something unforeseen happens, we plan on bringing him up Friday. We'll probably have as many as 3 starters he's handled in AAA. He's made great strides defensively. He's ready. It's time. And there's nothing more probably that he's going to have to make certain adjustments here at the major league level, and it's about time he got here.
And coming to stay. I mean, obviously this isn't a tryout. This isn't a let's see what he looks like.
Well, you don't want to get in a situation like with Travis Snyder with the Blue Jays, very promising young left-hand hitter, very young. Matt's 23. He's been a AAA, AA, A-ball. You definitely do not want to get yourself in a circumstance where you have to return the player.
All right, will you stay with us for just a second?
Sure.
For the last half inning, all right. Orioles get one back on the Aubrey Huff home run, and it is now a 2-1 Toronto lead. Out as Andy McPhail, the president of baseball operations, joining us, and obviously major news for the Orioles and for Major League Baseball. Matt Wieters is going to be coming up Friday to join Baltimore and make the start. I just asked you, smiling. Obviously, Matt knows he's coming. Tell us how that came down.
Well, generally, before you make a decision like this, you talk to a lot of people. I spoke to Dave Stockstill, who runs our minor leagues, got his opinion, got the opinion. Bruce Keeson was just in Norfolk. He saw him for 4 or 5 days straight. And that's something that we discussed as an organization up and down the organization. And Dave talked to Gary Allenson talked to Matt before the game today, or they were supposed to.
Yeah, you will.
And let him know that this was in the offing. And we didn't really feel like we could surprise people. Obviously, it's been something of a lot of interest, and we didn't just want to spring it on them.
Well, the timing is important, obviously, and you've always said all along that the players will tell you when they're ready. And what made you sense that Matt was ready at this point?
Well, like I said, his bat is heated up. He's hit like at a 333 clip over the last 10 days or so. He's had 4 or 5 home runs, driven a lot of runs, and his throwing is improved. His release times are improved. He's really doing everything we could ask him to do, and it's not going to be easy for him up here. You're going to have to make adjustments at this level. There are no CC Sabathias in the International League, so there are certain things he's going to have to learn, and I expect it's going to be a little bit of a struggle. He's not going to come up here and magically hit 500.
But I think the important thing is he's been around this ball club in 2 spring trainings, and he's got some pitchers that he's familiar with. So I think you have the people here that can help him make those adjustments.
Is it more important that he be up here before the young pitchers come that will become the primary parts of the staff, that he comes before they do?
Well, some of them are here now. You got Jason pitching today. Brad Bergeson got the call in April coming up. If we have to put Koji, if Koji can't make a start, we're going to have another one from Norfolk probably come up. So he's already going to have 60% of the rotation. And then Guthrie, he would have caught as Buck pointed out in spring training. So he's got some familiarity with all of them.
All right. You saw the fine play made by Adam Jones. How about the fact of what you've got going in the outfield with that young man and Nick Markakis in right? I mean, as we travel around, Andy, I'm sure you know, we're asked by other players, fans, management about those 2 guys in particular in the outfield. They are really impressing Major League Baseball and have people looking.
Well, the great thing about them is that they're both in their early 20s to mid-20s, and they're going to be with the ball club for several years to come. They'll be together. We're confident with what we have in the organization. We're going to be able to put someone with them in left field, whether it's Nolan or whoever else that's going to be part of the continuous outfield for many years to come, and that's exciting. We've locked up Ryan Roberts. We need to work on the pitching. We'll go as far as our pitching takes us, but we kind of like the way that the offense is shaping up. Once we get Matt here, the bottom with Nolan, the bottom of the order is going to be a little more formidable than potentially in the future than it's been in the past.
Well, as a manager and a catcher, I think it's important that your bullpen is a little more experienced. Now you're going to have some young starters in the pen, in the rotation, but you've got a pretty good bullpen, Andy, that's really starting to round into form. How much of an asset is that for younger pitchers when they come up here and pitch in Baltimore? Well,
bullpen is essential to really get into the postseason for any team, and it's often the Achilles heel of different clubs. And the reason that is because they change from year to year. The same group that's effective a year can struggle the next year, and you never know. You just have to have a tremendous inventory in that department. Get as many arms as you possibly can. Like Buck says, experience is a key as well. You'd like to have a little bit of a meld. Some of the most effective bullpens are ones that they give you a little bit of everything. Old, young, velocity, maybe a sidearm, or just all kinds of different looks.
Well, Andy, we certainly appreciate you coming up and surprising us with the announcement of Matt Wieters that obviously now all of the baseball fans are going to be looking forward to for the O's. And we look forward to it on Friday night.
As do we. I appreciate you having me.
Appreciate it. Okay. Andy McPhail is in charge of operations, the president of baseball operations for the Orioles, which includes the role of GM, of course. And quite an announcement. That ball taken in the air towards center again. Jones, Markakis, and Jones cutting in front. Puts it away. Markakis knew he was coming, and obviously Jones made the call at the last second because Nick kind of slid behind him. A couple of nice plays in the outfield. Well, I've got to say personally that is ahead of time from what my own personal thinking was on Matt Wieters.
Well, you know, I kind of sensed a little bit, having talked to some scouts, and I know how much Donnie Werner loves what Matt Wieters has done and how much he's grown since we saw him in Florida. And as Andy said, the bat's starting to heat up. You know what? The time is right. And you've got younger pitchers here now, so you bring him up and they can all learn together. And you have your best pitching coach, your best bullpen coach, your manager, of course, is your big league manager. And if you're going to mentor somebody, why not do it under your own watch?
So the Detroit Tigers will be here for a 4-game set starting on Thursday and Friday night. If all goes as planned, Matt Wieters will be here and will be catching for the Orioles and making his major league debut. And obviously, Greg Zahn knew about this when he came to the Orioles, that he was going to be here at some point in a backup role as a mentor, and that Matt Wieters was the one who was going to take the job. So that was will not be a surprise to Zahn, who's been the regular catcher so far this season. Millar with a runner on at first base. Birkin comes inside to him, and a 2-ball 1-strike count, 2 down. Jays have the 2-1 lead, 2-4-0. While the Orioles are 1-3-0, and the home run picked up by Aubrey Huff. Millar took a couple of inside pitches his first time up, ended up grounding to Melvin Moore at third base. And the throw over to get him back. Millar has done a tremendous job for the Jays this season. He is working off the bench, working in the DH role, getting some limited time in the field, and hitting .286 coming in with 5 home runs. 2-1 delivery to him. Millar will take that up the middle. Jones coming. That'll fall in for a base hit. That grass is damp out there, so balls that are hit either on the ground or bouncers like that are not going to roll very far. Millar is on with a single. That'll put runners on at first and second base and 2 down.
Yeah, all he did was just kind of fought off that inside pitch and flared it up the middle, but it's another scoring opportunity for the Blue Jays with 2 outs, and Scott Rowland will step in. Rowland walked and scored back in the second inning. Came in to score under Rod Barajas, base hit to left field.
So Scott Rowland, who drew a walk and scored his first time up, gets another RBI chance with 2 down. And Rowland will take the pitch away for a ball. Rowland looking for his first hit in this series, having opened up with the 0 for 4 in the ball game last night. Runners on at first and second base. Birkin's delivery to him, and that'll be fouled away.
Well, I like the fact that Birkin can get inside on some of these big right-handed hitters. He's got a lot of movement on his fastball. We've seen his fastball velocity, that last pitch, up to 96 miles an hour. Now, he won't pitch at 96, but every once in a while he can add a little extra zip and get inside on these big, strong right-handed hitters. Boy, he's thrown a lot of strikes, Gary. He's done a nice job of pounding the strike zone.
Yeah, that was the game plan. If he does that, that really is the #1 point of the night for Jason Birkin in his major league debut. Scott Rowland against the Orioles this year. He's had one hit in 10 at bats and 1 RBI on the season. The delivery to him. Rowland will take that down the line, right field, foul territory. Aubrey Huff hoping for room. Makes the nice play against the tie. So another 2 are stranded. It remains a Jays 2-1 lead.
and that is going to, allow us, and we're going to have 21 kids from around Maryland come to the ball games, put them up in the suite, and, have that experience, and see what I do on the field. People that don't have the chance to come here on a regular basis, this way off the field, that we will be able to interact with them, a lot better.
Well, the words from Nick Markakis, who today, along with his wife Christina Markakis, who I'm joined with now, announced the beginning of their nonprofit organization called Right Side Foundation. Tell me, what's the basis and the focus of the organization?
The focus is to help children across the state of Maryland, distressed children, anywhere from kids in the Children's Hospital to kids that suffer from poverty to kids that are just coming out of orphanages and need some help getting on their feet with colleges and going further in their lives.
Now, Nick signed with the Orioles through 2014, and I know that you and Nick really wanted to get involved in the Baltimore and Maryland community. Is that why you focused on the state of Maryland and basing your foundation here?
We did. Nick is very fortunate to be in the position he's in, and this is our new home, so we wanted to give back to the community that really supported him through his time in the minors and up into the majors.
And I know that you have some fundraisers coming up, a big walk run. Tell me about it.
On August 16th, after that day game, we're going to be having a 5K run and a 1-mile walk for the family and friends at Patterson Park. So just one fundraiser to raise money for the foundation. It's going to be our first annual. Hopefully we'll keep it up. And everyone can go to rightsidefoundation.org to find out more information on that 5K as well as information on our foundation.
And the money from not only the walk run but from other fundraisers will all go to kids in the Maryland area, correct?
Correct. All across Maryland.
All right. Well, a special foundation. Thank you so much, Christina, for being here with us.
Thank you, Amber.
Good luck with the foundation. Let's go back to Gary and Buck.
All right, Amber, thank you very much. And a great program started by Nick and Christina. And again, that first event that will be held is August 16. It is a 5K run and a 1-mile walk at Patterson Park from 5 until 8 p.m. after the day ball game. 2-1 delivery. Brian Roberts will punch that one to center, diving and trapping it as Wells. It'll be a base hit. So Roberts is 2 for 2, a 1-out single here in the third inning.
Well, I think Nick Markakis and his wife Christina are doing a marvelous thing, not only because they're helping children, but because they're getting involved in the community. And so many of the great Baltimore players over the years made their home here. Many of them still live in this area. But you become part of the fabric of the community, and then the fans really feel like you buy into this entire metropolitan area where everybody can understand this is Nick's home now. And well, what a great thing for the kids to be able to bring kids out and expose them to things that they otherwise wouldn't be able to enjoy.
Congratulations to both. Here's the throw to first as Jones stands in. So the Orioles now trailing it by 1. The Jays are 2-5-0. The Orioles have picked up 1 run on 4 hits. And going against the left-hander Romero, Jones double play first time up. And will take the pitch up high. Adam, among all the fine numbers he has put up, is hitting .482 when there's somebody on base. That is the best number in the majors. .482 with runners on. And he's got Roberts on at first base. Overall, a .357 average for the Orioles center fielder. Swings at one, and he doesn't like his own decision on that one, as it was up and away, and he chased it for a strike.
Yeah, you don't see Adam lose his cool very often at home plate. He has very good at bats time and time again, but that time he got a little anxious and chases a pitch up, and he was a little frustrated. He had the count in his favor and was kind of got a little bit excited. Saw a pitch that he saw well, but it was out of the strike zone away.
He's hitting at .333 against the Jays this season, and he will take that one the right field side, heading over towards the seats, and there'll be no play as that one will bounce up and in. As you can see, that mist is still coming down and being blown towards left field, the third base side, as this ball game rolls on. It's a nasty night. 54 degrees at game time, and the players, this is one of those where you just got to buckle down a bit in every situation. Throw over, scooped up. So that ball will be wet for the outfielders trying to make throws, but it's not raining hard enough to stop the ball game.
Boy, what a difference in 24 hours before the game yesterday. It was hot, humid, muggy. Then it rained and cooled off, and Jeremy Guthrie worked through a very wet 7th inning in last night's game.
1-2 delivery, and that'll be fouled off outside of third. That's a substantial change in game time temperature, wouldn't you say? 82 to 54.
Yeah, pretty significant. Many of the ball players were kidding about summer being over already.
They'll wish when it gets to be about August 30th. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Brian Roberts being held at first base by Overbay. Romero's delivery swung out and missed as he got a good pitch down and away, maybe out of the strike zone. Romero gets a strikeout his first.
Pretty good pitch by Ricky Romero, down and away from Adam Jones. We mentioned the movement on his fastball, 91 miles an hour. Take a look at the swing. Great balance from Jones, but that ball is past him. You could see where his bat was when the ball was in the catcher's glove. A little bit late trying to protect with 2 strikes.
Ricky Romero, his last major league start was on the 19th. Then he had the oblique injury. Made 3 starts at the minor league level, where he went 0-1 with a 6.91 ERA in rehab starts. Again, the throw over with Nick Markakis up, 2 down, and Brian Roberts on at first base. Romero, 6th overall selection, 2005, out of Los Angeles. And as we said, it's only his 4th major league start. 2 down. Markakis takes it for a ball.
Well, both Romero and Jason Birkin come from great collegiate baseball programs. Ricky Romero pitched at Cal State Fullerton. There have been a bunch of major league players that have come out of Fullerton, including 3 of Birkin's teammates down in the minor leagues in the Orioles minor league system.
1-0 delivery to Markakis inside. Nick hitting only .230 off the left-handers so far this season. Markakis hit .297 off the lefties last year. There was very little difference left or right for Nick. .310 off the right-handers, .297 off the left-handers. 2-0 count. Roberts not expanding his lead. Pitches up high. Keep in mind Brian's got that bruised shin, and it's a wet turf. So unless you're a mutter who's had a cortisone shot in your leg, you're probably not going to take off. And he didn't. It's a shin problem. 3-0 count. And on the inside corner, 3-1.
Well, you talk about Markakis and how he's struggling a bit against lefties. I think it's just a product of his success. When you hit so well as he has done now through his career, everybody's really trying to break down how they're going to get you out. And now he's going to have to counteract those adjustments the pitchers have made.
Romero looking on a 3-1. Markakis jammed a bit, fouls it back, and the count will go to 3-2. Certainly no question, I think, Buck, he's seeing more inside pitches than he did last year. I mean, they're really trying to get into the kitchen here, make sure he can't lean at all. He's seen a lot, it seems to me, of high strikes inside.
Yeah, man, he's got great plate recognition. He knows what's a strike, and he knows when he has to battle and fight those inside pitches off. But he gets a good look at the ball with that slightly open stance.
3-2, runner goes. Markakis, ground ball again, got jammed. A roller to second. Hill will make the play and get the out. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. It remains a 2-1 Toronto lead. Low fares, no hidden fees. By Acura Advance. And by PNC leading the way. The Orioles here at home, 12 wins, 11 losses with a victory they picked up last night. And tonight looking to make it 2 in a row over Toronto as the Jays try and get out of their 7-game losing streak. Lyle Overbay will foul that one back. Overbay, a 6-game hit streak continued with a single that he picked up his first time to the plate. During the last 7 games for Toronto, they've averaged only 1.6 runs in those ball games. Their ERA is up to 5.5 in those games, so it's been all bad trying to get this thing reversed. In there for a strike, Jason Birkin is trying to keep it right where it is. As far as the Jays are concerned, he's settled in here. Runners on each inning. A run scored in the first and second. 1 left on in each of those innings and a couple left on in the third. Breaking ball taken away. 1-2.
Boy, he's made some good pitches here tonight. I know he's given up 5 hits, but an 0-2 breaking ball tried to drop it back door and just missed the outside corner.
Here's the 1-2 delivery. On a number of those pitchers, had your name been Dizzy Dean, Don Drysdale, or Sandy Koufax, they would have been strikes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were pretty good.
They were all right.
And had a reputation. Nobody knows Jason Birkin.
That's
yet,
right.
But he's gaining a reputation quickly for throwing a lot of strikes.
Boy, in this day and age. 1 ball, 2 strike count.
A thing of beauty.
Interesting how the philosophies of baseball roam around. There was a lot of the breaking ball, the slider, as you come through the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Different pitches each year. The changeup has now become a very important pitch. The forkball pitch we saw for a number of years. Now we don't hardly hear about it. Fouled away. Right now, in this time in baseball, what you hear from virtually everybody involved in Major League pitching is command of your fastball.
Yeah, anybody,
first and foremost.
Yeah, you have to command your fastball because everybody hits off the fastball. And if you can't command your fastball, as Rick Kranitz knows, you can't pitch it. Because you have to be able to make pitches to all 4 quadrants of the strike zone with your fastball. Everything else plays off of that.
2-2 delivery. Inside 3-2. And it sort of goes along with what's happened in the offenses, where the name of the game now is take as many pitches as you can, see as many pitches as you can, work pitchers deep into counts so they are out of the ball game early to get to the underbelly, which generally is the middle of the bullpens at the major league level. Those two things kind of go together if you think about it. If you're a pitcher and reacting to what hitters are doing, throw more strikes.
Yeah, you throw more strikes, you're going to make the hitters swing. And we have seen that tonight with the Blue Jays against Birkin. They don't know anything about him. But what they're seeing is he's throwing strikes, so they've got to swing. So they will swing at some of those borderline pitches.
A 3-ball, 2-strike count. And a towering fly ball into the mist. That one's roaming in the gloaming to left field and hauled in. Brimall's got it. Overbay is retired. Birkin wins that battle. The Orioles and Jays will continue this 3-game series tomorrow. And it'll be Ollie's Bargain Day, presented by Ollie's Bargain Outlet. All upper reserve seats tomorrow are just $8. Don't forget, it is a day game. And then you can stretch out your holiday with some more baseball. The O's and Jays going at it $135. Prices start as low as $9. Orioles 888-848-BIRD or Orioles.com. $135 game time. 1 down. And the slider strike on the outside corner to Barajas. For younger fans, will not remember that there was a time and age in baseball, and not that far back, but especially 50s, 60s, 70s, where if you were an offensive player at the major league level, you went to the plate swinging. The idea was to go up and hit, and you would go after pitches that were outside the strike zone if you thought you could hit them. You didn't go up looking to take pitches.
No, everybody was aggressive. Good hitters swung early in the count. First ball, fastball hitter. That was the norm of people around baseball. And there was another thing that was always true. The inside half of the plate was the hitter's half. The outside half of the plate was the pitcher's half. And if you dive to the outside, you're going to get brushed back. And that was a standard operating procedure for everybody.
And that stayed around as a philosophy of baseball for a long time. The 0-2 delivery on the way. Great jam shot right there. Brian Roberts, the easy roller, will get it over for the out. Barajas retired. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game, and there are 2 down.
Well, Berkins making his major league debut here, and the last 3 Orioles pitchers to make their starting debut. Chris Waters last year pitched a great game against the Angels, 8 innings, no earned runs. Uehara won his game, 5 innings pitched, just a single run. And Brad Bergeson against the White Sox also won his major league debut, 5 2/3, pitched into the 6th, allowing just 1 earned run. So the last 3 rookies that have made their debut here all won their games.
Well, Berkin will try and add to that list. And he's got a chance at his first major league 1-2-3 inning right now. Joe Inglet, who's batting 9th in the order. He will take the pitch away. Inglet, a strikeout victim, his first time up, appearing in just his 4th game of the season, and getting just about that many at bats so far. 1-1 delivery to him. Popped it up. Third base side. Mora into the dugout where you can't catch it. Says hello to his friends from Toronto and makes his way back out. He was just fooling around on that. He knew the ball was behind the seat, so he thought he'd just go through the gate. And he did.
It's raining out where he's standing.
You got to go in to dry off. Inglet, here's the 1-2 delivery to him, and got him looking. So Berkin retires the side in order here in the 4th inning, and this one remains a good pitcher's duel going to the bottom of the 4th. 2-1 Jays. Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. By Honda. You can depend on your Honda dealer for great leases and low financing. And by GE. Imagination at work. With Buck Martinez and Amber Theo-Harris, I'm Gary Thorne. Great to have you with us. If you missed the news, Andy McPhail announcing when he came on with us in the 2nd inning that Matt Wieters will be here Friday to make his major league debut as the catcher for the Orioles against Detroit Friday night. Melvin Mora leads it off. Mora grounded out his first time up. Aubrey Huff and Wigginton will follow. 2-5-0 for the Jays. 1-4-0 for the Orioles. 4 left on by the Jays. 2 by the O's. Romero's pitch will be fouled off. Melvin Mora gets a shot here against the left-hander. Melvin's looking for his first hit of the set as he's had an 0 for 4 in the 2 games.
Yeah, the Friday night game is the 2nd game of a 4-game set against Detroit. Brad Bergeson will pitch against Dontrell Willis. That will be game 2 of that 4-game series.
Melvin Mora takes that one to left center field. Hit it pretty good. Going back near the warning track and over the head. Wells can't get it. Mora will go into second base. He got the body angle almost with his back directly to the plate and had to reach right up over his head looking into the rain.
Well, this is a ball Vernon Wells catches in his back pocket, but maybe the mist and the lights glaring in the mist, you could see kind of ran underneath it and then got in an awkward position as he has to reach back over his opposite shoulder. The ball goes off his glove, but that ball kind of sliced back over his head and it went off his glove.
Melvin Mora will be credited with a double. So a leadoff double. The Orioles get the potential tying run on to lead off the inning. Here's Aubrey Huff, who delivered a long, massive home run his first time up, as he took one way back in right field.
Yeah, this came off of Romero in the second inning. It's a no-doubter. Looks like he got a breaking ball on the inner part of the plate, and he crushed it.
8 home runs on the year, 38 RBIs. Breaking ball to him, taken, ball 2. You can understand why Romero would be particularly careful after what he had to watch in Huff's first time up against him. Mora at second base. Pretty good lead, having to watch the shortstop who's behind him. Fastball, and he put some extra seed on that one and got it in there. 2-1. Well, the Orioles battling back here after they'd fallen behind 2-0. 2-1, and now a chance to get the ball game tied up or better. For Aubrey Huff, his second home run off a left-hander. Came in hitting 182 off the lefties. 2-1 delivery taken the other way. Lynn coming, and they're having trouble seeing the ball. Wells didn't see it particularly well, and Lynn took a circuitous route right there to a ball that he might have had a chance on had he gotten directly at it.
Yeah, what happens here, you look up into the mist and the lights really reflect off the raindrops and it becomes kind of a glare, but he had trouble finding that ball in the mist here down the left field line.
So Huff's at bat goes on with a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Aubrey has been the RBI machine so far. Came back inside to him and missed with it, and the count will go full at 3-2.
Yeah, with that RBI that he picked up in the second, he now tied Nick Markakis for 6th in the American League with 38 RBI.
Boy, what a season. He is 8th with runners in scoring position average-wise. Ground ball down to first. That's a fair ball. Nice play. Overbay gets it over to Romero, but there's one of those productive outs. And the fans recognize it, as will his teammates, as he gets Mora over to third base.
Yeah, great job by Aubrey Huff, and he pulls it, and you can see the swing. He was exaggerating that he pulled this ball. Overbay makes a good play and a nice throw to Romero covering first base. Overbay's got a great glove. Rights himself, throws a strike to the pitcher covering the bag, who turns to check the base runner at third.
And Toronto's going to draw the infield in. They have a 2-1 lead. It is raining, so how long this game goes has to be a concern, and they are going to try and cut this run down if they can on a ground ball. Wigginton will take the breaking ball, gets away. Mora will stay. Wigginton had a single his first time up. He's in the DH role in this ball game. Melvin Mora is the potential tying run.
Now, as a hitter in this situation, you see the infield drawn in. You've got to believe they're trying to pitch you down to get the ground ball, keep you on the infield. So you've got to show patience against Ricky Romero. Make him elevate the ball. Get a ball you can drive over the drawn in infield at least. Fly ball gets you a run, ties the game.
1-0 the count. Outside. Now the question here, would you send Mora on contact, or would you have him wait on a ground ball until it goes through? That decision's already been made. You don't know until Wigginton hits the ball.
Yeah, I would expect they would not send him here with 2 right-handers hitting against Ricky Romero.
2-0 count. Infield creeps in a bit more. Ground ball not coming. And gets the out. Nice play by Scudero. 1 to get it. 2 to look over to third and make sure Mora didn't go anywhere, and then to get the out.
And obviously you don't have the ability to forecast what's going to happen, but watch where Scudero makes this play. Right back up the middle, but Mora wasn't going on contact. He was waiting to make sure that ball got through the infield. That was by design. That comes from the dugout, and that's what they wanted, and Mora didn't have a chance to break. Had he broken on that, obviously he would have scored, because Scudero had to go so far up the middle.
Now here is Nolan Reimold. Check swing, foul ball. Reimold hit into a fielder's choice. That's why those decisions are so important and made in advance. I mean, there's nothing wrong. Melvin Moore did exactly what he was supposed to do as a base runner. He had already been told, don't go until you see the ball go through the infield. And if you don't get the immediate jump on that ground ball, you can't go. And a strike taken, and it's quickly 0-2.
Yeah, the coach will literally come over and tell you, make it go through. And right then, you have to make sure it goes through, and that's what Melvin was doing.
Yep. 0-2 count, 2 down. And a check swing. Did he go? No. Rob Drake down at first base. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count.
Reimold has shown good discipline at the plate. Pretty good wrist right there as he held that barrel back.
Here's the 1-2 delivery. Reimold will take it. He's had limited times with runners in scoring position, but he is 2 for 4 in those settings. This is the 11th start that he has had in left field. He's also been in the DH position and has a 2-ball, 2-strike count. A chance to get the ball game tied up with a base hit here. And he takes the count to 3-2.
Well, we talked to Andy McPhail about Nolan Reimold and how, in Andy's words, he's held his own. He's done all right. He's played every day since he's been recalled, either in left field or a single-time DH, and he's had some good at-bats. He's battled them.
3-2 the count. And a ground ball to second base. Hill. And a good job by Romero to work his way out of it. Despite a leadoff double, Orioles do not get that second run. It remains 2-1.
For the 5th. Hi, everybody. I'm Amber Theo Harris with Rock Cabaco, School of Rock on MASNsports.com, blogger extraordinaire. And I'm sure the hot topic right now is Matt Wieters coming up. Just really quick, the reaction on the blog right now for that topic.
It's completely blown up. I mean, it's amazing. I was upstairs on the 4th floor greeting some Oriole bloggers in the Masson suite when I saw the scroll Andy McPhail just announced, and I was like, bye, guys. And I ran back down already. Again, it's blown up. People are so excited. They thought it wasn't going to happen until maybe the 1st or 2nd week in June. A lot of us thought that. It's going to happen Friday. Very exciting time.
Also in that Andy McPhail discussion, he said the Thursday starter in place of Koji Uehara most likely will come from the minor leagues. Who are the candidates?
Well, I'm assuming it's going to be David Hernandez. I keep predicting the kid. Eventually I have to be right about this. It would have been simpler if they had gotten rained out tonight. Jason Birkin would have been pushed to tomorrow. Rich Hill would have been pushed to Thursday. That would have solved it. Now, though, it looks like that they're going to call up David Hernandez. We're assuming anyway, and they're going to have to make some kind of a corresponding roster move.
Also, quick update on Lou Montanez. I know that he had surgery today.
Right. The good news is that it was successful surgery. They reattached 2 tendons in the thumb. The bad news, though, is he's probably not going to be back till at least mid-September. I know he thought it was going to be more of a 6 to 8 week kind of thing. then you go out on rehab, you come back maybe beginning of September, but they're being told now it's more like 8 to 10 weeks. So it's going to be a while till we see him, but at least it was successful surgery. He'll be able to resume his career.
All right, I know all our Masson viewers want to weigh in on the announcement of Matt Wieters coming up this Friday, also on who will come up from the minor leagues on Thursday to make the start. So get in touch with Rock, School of Rock at MassonSports.com. Thanks, Rock.
Thank you.
All right, Gary and Buck.
All right, thanks. And Matt Wieters is coming as the roster having substantial changes made to it that are going to continue for the reasons you just heard discussed there. Here's Aaron Hill. Scudero got a leadoff single. He's 2 for 3 in the ball game. Now Aaron Hill hitting at .344. That'll be hit number 6 for the Jays, 5 for the O's. So you put it all together, you got Montanez with a surgery on the hand. He's really gone for the season. Birkin takes his place in order to make the start. He's on the roster. Uehara tried to throw today. It's a hammy problem. Doubtful for Thursday. Call up probably coming from AAA for that. Luke Scott is in his second rehab game today and probably will be back here tomorrow. Fly ball to right field. And that'll be handled. Hill is retired. Markakis there to get it. 1 down. Scudero back to the bag. On Friday, the Orioles take on the Tigers 7:05. How about the fact Matt Wieters comes up on the first fireworks night of 2009? Well done. We hope you'll be here to see it. You can get the summer started with an explosive night in a number of ways. Tickets start as low as $9. 888-848-BIRD or Orioles.com. Friday night. Game 2 against the Tigers, and Matt Wieters scheduled to come up and make his major league debut in that game. Adam Lind has walked and doubled, has an RBI. Perkins delivery outside.
Well, Gary, Joe Jordan is in charge of the scouting department, and he has done a great job. His first draft was 2005, and that's where David Hernandez was drafted. Nolan Reimels as well was the number 2 pick in 2005, but we're starting to see a lot of these draft choices show up in the big leagues, and that's exactly what you need to do.
1-0 delivery. That'll be fouled off down the line. Well, certainly, I think, Buck, fair to say, with the way the Orioles are playing right now offensively, a couple more pieces in the puzzle, especially on the mound, and all of a sudden, it's a different ball club than has been seen here in maybe a decade. I mean, you really suddenly have got a chance to be very competitive.
Yeah, and I think the important part that we talked about with Andy McPhail is the depth of their bullpen.
Ryan Roberts going to go to second and got the out. Boy, was that an Olay play at second base. His Turris got one. The second base umpire, Mark Wagner, thought about it for a second, but he gave him the play as his Turris. Great veteran job right here.
Brian Roberts uses that backhand flip as well as anybody in the game. It's a long flip, but you can see he gets it to his Turris, and that was close. He almost lost contact with the bag, and this was the old neighborhood play. He's in the neighborhood. That foot comes off very quickly. They get Scudero. Relay throw nearly in time to turn a pretty impressive double play, but this double play combination has been exceptional all year long.
They get that lead runner, 2-down runner at first base. That one drilled in the air. Vernon Wells got it. Long ball to the gap. That'll take a hop right at the base of the wall. Coming around is Lynn. They got to play at the plate. They're going to hold the runner. They got to play at second. Here's the throw. Not in time. Back in is Wells. Wells gets a double and thought he was going to move on to third with an RBI, but they held up the lead runner at third base.
Well, we've been bragging about Adam Jones. You're going to see why he's so valuable. Look at that throw to the cutoff man. His Turris does a great job getting it to Zorn. And because it was so low, they had to stop the runner at third. Right here, Scudero gets the turner and says stop. He goes back, and then the runner, Vernon Wells, was halfway to third. He gets back ahead of Zorn's throw. But what a play by Jones and by Cesar Turris.
Wow.
Perfectly executed.
That looked like a guaranteed run, but not to be. And now Jason Birkin's got a chance here to get out of this inning without surrendering a run. Kevin Millar is coming up, a single, and he is grounded out with runners at second and third and 2 down. Lynn, the lead runner, at third, and Wells on at second base with the 2-bagger. Boy, when that goes as far as that one did, and the runner taking off with 2 away, you just put that down as a run scored. And it's Buck said, a fine defensive play that saves the run for the moment. Millar will take the fastball up high, ball one.
And remember, we saw Adam Jones out here at 5:20 with John Shelby, no one else on the field, and he was taking balls off that wall in front of the bullpen. This guy doesn't miss a trick, and he wants to make sure he's got all the bases covered, and paid off right there.
Here's the 1-0 delivery. Fastball strike on the inside corner to Millar. He was thinking that ball was a little bit inside. You see Millar, the 13 RBIs last 21 games. As we said, he's been productive. He has 14 runs batted in on the season and a .291 average. 1-1. Birkin's delivery again came inside, this time low, and a 2-ball 1-strike count. Millar hitting .333 with runners in scoring position for the Jays. The bearded one has Lind at third and Wells at second. Birkin ready with a 2-1. Again, just missed inside, and the count will go to 3-1.
And you can see Birkin's pitching his way through this at bat. He's not really just rearing back and firing. He's trying to make some quality pitches inside. And he's got a veteran here, and now he's got a base open. He can throw a breaking ball right here and not really be too concerned about walking Kevin Millar. Looks like they're coming inside again with a fastball.
3-1 delivery on the way, and walked him. So the bases will be loaded. So the base is loaded, and Scott Rowland coming up with 2 down. And again, so far tonight, with runners in scoring position, as Rick Kranitz comes out and Albers gets up, Toronto's gone 2 for 8 with runners in scoring position. They have left 4 on so far. So you put it all together, doing the 8 games now, 7 of which they've lost, and you add in tonight's, they've had 10 hits in the last 66 at bats with runners in scoring position.
Now, that's quite a drought for a team that had been scoring runs in bunches. For most of the first 6 weeks of this season, the Blue Jays were among the top hitting ball clubs in all of baseball. It's come to a screeching halt.
So there they are on the bases. Lind with the fielder's choice. Wells a double at second. And Millar with a walk on at first. And the battle will be joined by Birkin and Scott Rowland. First pitch goes after it. Foul tips it for a strike.
Well, what a good pitch. Watch the movement on this pitch. It's down. First pitch fastball, but look at the sink on it. That thing goes right underneath the bat of Scott Rowland. Great movement.
Rowland with the bases loaded this year, 2 for 7, 1 RBI, or 5 RBIs, sorry. 0-1 delivery to him, taken in the air center field. Adam Jones is there. Birkin has done it again. And that's a backbreaker for Toronto, because they know they're not getting big hits. And there's another big chance that goes by the boards.
pitching out of tough situations. Gets Vernon Wells early in the ballgame on a slider down and away. Joe Ingles chases a changeup, and then Ingles caught for a second time on an inside fastball. Again, he strands a couple more runners. 7 left on base so far. Aubrey Huff has gone deep for the 8th time. That came in the 2nd inning. Adam Lind has had a double and a walk, but Jason Birkin minimizing the impact of those 7 hits. He's had 3 walks, but he's also pitched out of some tough situations.
Well, the Orioles offense now trying to get going against Ricky Romero, who he has walked none, struck out 1. Jason Birkin on the bench watching, hoping for a little help here. Zahn is Torres and then Roberts, and that will be fouled off and back. The night has just gotten tougher to play in as the mist has gotten a bit thicker and blowing around the ballpark. It's very wet and it's cold and it's pretty miserable, actually, ladies and gentlemen.
Looks like San Francisco.
It does, doesn't it? Looks like you're out of Candlestick. Zahn hitting at 213 and a strike on the outside corner. Romero. Boy, these 2 pitchers have thrown some nasty stuff tonight. It'll be his 2nd strikeout, 1 away.
Yeah, this is the old backdoor breaking ball. Ricky Romero drops that hook on the outside part of the plate, 0-2. That's a tough pitch to swing at. So far out on the other side of the plate. It starts out in the left-hand hitter's batter's box, and Rod Barajas does a nice job. Zahn doesn't think it's a strike. Barajas really did a good job of receiving it. It made it look better than it may have been.
Hit hard. Roland was in and makes the play on his Torres. And there are 2 away here in the 5th inning. On Saturday, the first 10,000 fans at the Orioles-Tigers game at 7:05 will get a plush cow presented by Chick-fil-A. Let me repeat that. A plush cow. Each season, Chick-fil-A Orioles plush cow is a big hit with fans and collectors, so hope you'll be out to get it. Tickets start as low as $9 at 888-848-BIRD, Orioles.com. You can get some tickets and get your plush cow. Every home should have one.
Every home should have one. Eat more chicken.
2 down. And the pitch is taken inside for a ball. Brian Roberts 2 for 2 in the ball game. Brian's had a couple of singles. Up to 303 his average now. Romero's pitch to him is a strike. Both of these pitchers are not afraid to throw strikes. They have committed hitters early in the count and in the middle of it, not wasting many. That pitch is going to miss inside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
There have been 12 hits in the ballgame, but only 3 runs. And I think when pitchers throw that many strikes, they have an idea where they can go next. And they've pitched out of tough situations because they've thrown so many strikes.
2-1 delivery on the way, will be up high. And it'll go to 3-1. Brian Roberts will take the walk if he can get it here.
Interesting thing, there's only been 1 double play in this game, and that came in the 1st inning when Adam Jones hit a ground ball to Aaron Hill for a 4-6-3 double play.
Toronto, it's again stranded runners, 7 of them left on. Roberts fouls that one off the other way. Against the left-handers so far this season for Brian Roberts, hitting .275 and .303 off the right-handers. Not much difference. Brian has kept the numbers up from last year when he actually hit better against left-handers, .313, than he did against right-handers, .289. 3-2 delivery on the way and inside, walked him. The first walk surrendered by Romero. Take a look at our Firestone League leaderboard. Firestone, a tradition of innovation.
Multi-hit games, and both the first and second hitter in the American League are here. Aaron Hill, the Blue Jay second baseman, is 3 ahead of Adam Jones. There are 4 players tied with 19 games, but when you look around the leaderboards in the American League, Adam Jones, Aaron Hill, they're all over the map. Jones is coming into play tonight, 4th in batting average, and Hill is 5th.
Tremendous numbers. 2 down, throw over to get him back. Well, the Orioles will try and mount the 2-out rally here. And while Roberts is a base stealer with Jones up, you don't want to take the bat out of his hands. Plus, Brian's got that sore shin, and it's muddy out there. That one in the air, left field. Adam Jones, another highlight, way back. Goodbye, home run. And the Orioles
budding stars in baseball delivers here with a man aboard. A high fastball, 92 miles an hour. And you remember he chased a high fastball in his previous at bat and was upset with himself. Well, he got on top of this one, hits it into the seats. His 11th home run of the season. He is on fire.
And with it, a 3-2 lead for the O's. The first time they have led in the ball game as Romero gives up the dinger. And Nick Markakis will take it down low. So for Adam Jones, 11 home runs and 34 runs batted in. And the Orioles up by 1.
And it makes Birkin the pitcher of record right here. And he's probably done. But how about 2 out walks? My, oh my.
Oh, they just kill you. Extend the inning, and for some reason, pitchers tend to groove pitches after they've given up that 2-out walk. Markakis will take it to left field for a base hit. That is in the gap. Lind over to get it, cuts it off. Markakis will stay at first. He's got a single, his first hit of the series. So after 2 outs, a walk, a home run, and a single off Romero.
Nick Markakis has had a tough night tonight. He's been jammed a couple of times, but this ball is away from him. He stays on it and drills it over the shortstop's head into left.
Christina watching the ball game here. Nick Markakis' wife on earlier with Amber, announcing their foundation. There's one for the foundation right there. Each team now with 7 hits. Melvin Mora. Mora double and grounded out. And the breaking ball will miss down low, ball 1. You never know what the impact is, but when Scott Rowland gets up there with the bases loaded and they get the big out and leave the bases loaded, continue drifting down that path of not getting hits with runners in scoring position, the players know it, they're talking about it, it's demoralizing. What kind of an impact does that have on the next half inning? On the pitcher. That one to short. That's going to be a base hit. Markakis to second will stay. Lind will get it in. And the Orioles have had 4 on after there were 2 down.
I'll give you my take on the momentum swing. That was the Adam Jones play that kept the base runner Lind from scoring from first with 2 outs. I mean, that was an academic run. The ball hit in the gap with 2 outs, but Jones played it so well, got it to Cesar Asturias, and they threw to the plate to keep the base runner third. Right here in the 5th inning, when Brenner Wells hits that ball off the wall, Blue Jays expected to score. But look at the great cutoff and relay, and that keeps the runner Adam Lind from scoring. Brenner Wells would have to stop at second, and they thought they had a run for sure, but Jones and Asturias made a great play to keep them from scoring.
You are seeing the Orioles do what Dave Tremblay has preached from day one as manager, that baseball is won and lost by the little things that are either done or not done, the things that don't show up necessarily on the scoreboard or the following day in the box score. That's what Buck's saying right there. That's one of those plays. It changes the whole momentum of a ball game, and unless you saw it, you would never know it happened. 2 down, first and second. Here's Aubrey Huff, who's had a home run and is grounded out. 8 homers on the year, 38 RBIs. The off-speed breaking ball is in there for a strike to Huff. So the Orioles with a chance to extend their 3-2 lead here with 2 down. Aubrey Huff has had the big numbers against the Jays this year. He's had 7 hits and 17 at bats. Another breaking ball, that's in for a strike. Aubrey has picked up 5 RBIs now on the year against Toronto. That home run he had the first of the season off him. Here's the 0-2 delivery by the lefty. Breaking ball swung on a miss. Play's got to be made at first, and there's the putout. But the Orioles get 2 big runs here in the 5th as Adam Jones delivers his 11th home run of the season, coming with 2 down after Roberts had drawn the walk in front of him. Orioles by 1. Chance to win the Adam Jones Bobblehead Night VIP Experience Sweepstakes. One lucky winner will receive 4 VIP seats, VIP parking for the Wednesday, June 17 Orioles-Mets game. And you could win 4 passes to watch batting practice right on the field. So don't miss your chance. Experience Oriole Park in a whole new way. You can enter today at Orioles.com.
Jason Birkin, 5 good innings, 7 hits. He stranded 7 base runners, allowed just 2 earned runs, walked 3, struck out 3. He is the pitcher of record now with this lead, as he is looking to the bullpen. And Matt Albers, who makes his 11th appearance. Matt Albers has been recalled this for the 3rd time this year. He has pitched on Friday and Saturday at Washington against the Nationals his last 2 outings, a combined total of 2 1/3 without allowing a hit.
And Albers will go to work here against Lyle Overbay, who has singled and flied out. And Overbay takes it away for a ball. Matt Albers trying to solidify his position in this bullpen. Going down to try and get things straightened out. Get that ERA down. 1-0 delivery. Swung on, hit in the air to center. Jones almost in place. Uses 2 hands, as all good fielders will. And that will retire Overbay. And there's one down here in the 6th inning. So the Orioles up, trying to make it 2 in a row over the Jays. Toronto got their runs first inning. RBI double by Lynn. RBI single in the 2nd inning by Barajas. The Orioles came back with the home run by Huff in the 2nd. And then the 2-run homer in the 5th inning by Jones to put him on top. Breaking ball, strike on the outside corner. Barajas a single, and he is grounded out. Got 2 good ball games in the first 2 games of this series. 4-1 last night for the O's. Each team picked up 9 hits, but it was a good pitching duel. Jeremy Guthrie and Brian Talent went at it. Same thing so far in this one. Good pitch. That got right in on him. Fouled off 0-2.
Yeah, Brian Talent really pitched a good ball game as well. He scattered 7 hits over his 6 innings, and Jeremy Guthrie 7 hits as well. He went an extra inning and allowed just the 1 earned run that came in the 1st inning, and after that he really stifled the Blue Jays.
And that's what the Orioles have been looking for, trying to get some numbers out of their starters, so this bullpen is not continually overused, and Guthrie did that last night. Here's the 0-2 delivery on the way. Barajas will take the fastball up high.
Guthrie's the only starter since the 23rd of April to pitch at least 7 innings. He's done that 3 times. And you've got to have your starters pitching deeper in the games. And boy, look at how the average age of the rotation has changed dramatically with those 2 guys joining Jeremy Guthrie.
Here's the 1-2 delivery, fouled off, and there will be another apparently coming up from AAA to join that group as well, as Koji Uehara is not going to be able to make his start. Dave Tremblay saying before the game about Uehara, they'll have somebody called up to take the place in the rotation, and he may have to go on the DL if he's going to miss more than 1 start. Tremblay saying, look, we can afford to keep a pitcher active. He's only going to miss 1 start, but it's going to be more than that, and we got to make a change. That down the line is foul, and it'll stay at a ball and 2 strikes.
Well, there's some speculation, and you heard Rock Cabaco talk about the possibility of that starter on Thursday being David Hernandez. Hernandez is also a product of the 2005 draft. He is 3-1 with a 2.91 ERA at AAA, and he's 2nd in the International League in strikeouts to Tommy Hanson.
Another guy that throws strikes outside. And make no mistake about it, it's not an accident that we're talking about pitchers coming up in the Orioles organization who seemingly suddenly are throwing more strikes than they were before. Rick Kranitz has made it very clear to the entire organization, all the pitching coaches, with support from the top. That's what we're doing. And he wants that instruction to go from the bottom up. To second base off the end of the bat. Brian Roberts able to make the play. And there are 2 down. Oriole fans, when it comes to tickets, you deserve Major League service, so go to StubHub, official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Orioles.
Tomorrow, good pitching matchup with Roy Halladay of the Blue Jays going against Rich Hill, who's had 2 good starts since his recall. That's on Mass and HD at 1:30. And Thursday, you'll get to see Armando Galarraga against to be determined. And we're not sure who that's going to be. A starter on Thursday, probably come up from the minor leagues.
And tomorrow's our Wired Wednesday day here on Masson. We'll be talking to the skipper during the ball game live from the dugout, as well as Jason Birkin, the Major League debut Oriole here in this ball game, and a chance to be the winning pitcher. Both will be joining us during Wired Wednesday. Joe Inglet, 2 down, 1-0 delivery, right field. Nick Markakis. And he's got it. So Alvarez comes on and retires all 3 here in the 6th inning. Orioles on top, 3-2.
At Oriole Park. Game-used baseballs from the 2009 season will now be on sale beginning in the 6th inning of each game. Located inside Gate D at the Orioles Reach community booth on the lower concourse, prices start at $30 and all proceeds benefit the Orioles Charitable Foundation. So stop by the Orioles Reach community booth to pick up a special Orioles game-used baseball and help the Orioles Charitable Foundation. Gary?
Amber, thanks very much. That's something I've not seen at any other major league ballpark before, where those baseballs are sold, and it is for the charity groups of the Orioles. 3-2 ball game, and the Orioles will try and add to it here. Wigginton, Reimold, and Zahn are due up. Wigginton has had a single, 1 for 2. Ricky Romero, his 4th major league game, first one since coming off the DL after 3 games in rehab. Down to first, that's another fair ball. Wigginton is loving right field. Picked back up. Inglet, his throw will not be in time, and it's a double. A single and a double in the game for Wigginton, and both have been the other way.
Well, he's starting to heat up, starting to swing it, and he stays on this pitch. This is a good pitch. Up out of the strike zone away, and he strokes it right inside the foul line all the way down to the right field corner. Good balance. I tell you, he's looking for a ball away. He stayed right on that. And he is a notoriously aggressive pull hitter, but boy, was he on that pitch.
April, 205, slugging 256. May, up to 230, slugging up 410. Boy, will that help the offensive cause. And again, that push you'd love to have coming, player against player. Luke Scott scheduled to be back tomorrow. Will put some more pressure on. At second base, Reimold at the plate. Wigginton, potential run out there with nobody out. Reimold down to third. Will foul that one off. He is grounded out and hit into a fielder's choice in the ball game.
Yeah, Nolan Reimold has to really grind now and get a good at bat. At least you want to take advantage of that leadoff double. Move Ty Wigginton at a minimum to third base. Yeah, he'd love to drive him in, but you got to make sure that he at least gets to third base in this at bat.
1-1. Orioles have had a tough time in the 4 games previously played between these two teams. as the Orioles batting average only .238 against Toronto pitching, but they certainly have come back here in this series yesterday and tonight so far, at least. Orioles had been outscored 34-18 in the first 4 games. They've got a lead here 3-2, and they won last night 4-1. Runner off second, a 1-2 delivery. Reimold takes it. Was worried. Will now breathe again with the count of 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That's that backdoor breaking ball that's been so good. Then John went down looking back in the 5th inning on an 0-2 breaking ball that Romero dropped on the outside corner.
Orioles have 9 hits in the ball game. Reimold will take that. That's further outside. And Romero will again take the count to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Reimold, an RBI chance in the 4th inning, grounded out. Here's the 3-2 delivery. Takes that one in the air to center field. Turning his back to the plate as Wells at the wall. Wells looking. Goodbye! Home run! Nolan Reimold. Center field shot, and the Orioles have a 5-2 lead. His 2nd major league dinger.
Well, you talk about power. You measure power by center field home runs, and this is a beautiful home run. Famous Dave's Exmo shows you the extension. 3-2 fastball up out over the plate, not trying to do too much with it, but he hits it into the seats above the center field wall. His first home run also went to center field. That came at Yankee Stadium against Mariano Rivera.
So the Orioles are using the long ball. 3 home runs in this game off Romero have accounted for all the runs. Huff the solo, Jones a 2 RBI shot, and now Reimold with a 2 RBI hit. Fouled off by Zahn, who has struck out and hit into a fielder's choice. Well, the Orioles extend that lead to 5-2 on this misty evening, and Toronto will get Jesse Carlson ready to go in the bullpen. All of this to the benefit of Jason Berkin's chance of winning his first major league game in his first major league outing.
Rogers' team average differential home and road. The Orioles 63 points higher at home than they are on the road. Boston's hitting over 300 at home.
Pops that one up to third base. Scott Rowland. And there is the first out of the inning. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Gary Thorne, Buck Martinez, Amber Theo Harris here at Camden Yards tonight, where the Orioles have taken the 5-2 lead after trailing 2-0 going to the bottom of the 2nd inning. One away as Torres is grounded out twice and takes the inside corner strike.
Gary mentioned the team hitting 63 points higher at home. Cesar Torres is hitting 237 points higher at home. He's hit 338 in this ballpark for the season.
And another one. Base hit. Wells will chase it down. As Torres has become what the Orioles had hoped for, he is a leadoff batter hitting ninth. Now that he's putting the ball in play, he gives you that wonderful situation of having a guy who could be a leadoff hitter hitting before the leadoff hitter. Cito Gaston, that's going to be it. Coming off the DL, Ricky Romero could not hold it together as the long ball was what got to him. The Orioles get 11 hits off the left-hander, and Carlson will come out of the bullpen. O's leading the Jays 5-2. The first 10,000 fans 15 and over will receive an Orioles crab mallet. It's a set presented by Old Bay. This exclusive set combines two of the Birdland's favorite summer traditions, steamed crabs and Orioles baseball. Tickets start as low as $9. Get yours 888-848-BIRD or go to Orioles.com. You can never have enough Old Bay on the crabs. Jesse Carlson.
Jesse Carlson comes in here to try to shut down this Orioles attack. 5-2 here with a runner at first base in the bottom of the 6th inning. Nolan Reimold with his second home run of the season, supporting Jason Birkin, who is the pitcher of record in line to get his first major league win and his first major league start.
28-year-old left-hander Cito Gaston stays with the lefties against the Orioles. Brian Roberts has been on all 3 times up. He has 2 singles and a walk and has scored a run. He came in ahead of Adam Jones, who delivered the homer in the 5th inning. Runner at first base, only 1 away. Roberts batting at .303 now, with the 2 singles that he has put on the board in the ballgame.
Jesse Carlson is part of a very potent left-handed side of their bullpen, but over his last 8 2/3 innings, he's allowed 7 earned runs. Kind of a reflection of the entire team slump of this Blue Jays ball club.
That is taken for a strike. Amazing, since their pen had been and still is ranking-wise at 4th in the American League in the bullpen with a .389 ERA, but the likes of Carlson have really struggled. 7 earned runs in his last 8 2/3 innings pitched. 2-strike delivery to Brian Roberts. He'll foul that one back. Brian with a run scored tonight up to 42. And at this stage of the season, the only Oriole in franchise history who has scored more runs in that number of games is Melvin Mora, who had 45 in his first 45 games of a year. Did that in 2004. It's Mora, Roberts, Roberto Alomar, Paul Blair, Frank Robinson, and then Adam Jones. The top 6 in runs scored through this number of games into a season. That tells you the kind of offense coming out of the top of that order. There is Melvin, who in 04 scored 45 times in the first 45 games. 0-2 delivery outside by Carlson, and a 1-ball 2-strike count.
Now that was Melvin Mora's great year when he hit .340 and certainly did everything offensively that a hitter can do.
1-2. Sidearmed it and got him swinging. Carlson dropped way down on that one. And there are 2 away here in the 6th inning.
Now Carlson, that side door breaking ball, outside back door, you give a chance to kind of slow down the bat. This is the famous Dave's Exmo, shows you that Brian kind of gave up on it and then had to recommit as he saw it was going to be a strike.
Runner at first base now and 2 down. Adam Jones. And the pitch is inside for a ball. 1 for 3, home run, 11th of the year, 5th inning, good for 2.
Kerry, we always talk about great hitters making adjustments from at bat to at bat, and we're seeing that consistently from Adam Jones. In his second at bat here tonight, he struck out on a high fastball against Ricky Romero. In his third at bat, with 2 outs and a runner on, he hit practically the same pitch out of the ballpark.
And a long way out of the ballpark. 2-0 delivery to him. He has a couple of home runs this season against Toronto, 2 home runs and 3 RBIs. He's got a .333 average going against the Jays on the year. 2-ball 1-strike count to Jones. The mist has been coming down throughout the game, and you can see how cold it is just by the way the guys are dressed in the dugout. 54 degrees when we started, and I assure you it hasn't gotten any warmer, and the mist has kind of been on and off throughout the game. Here's the 2-1 delivery on the way. Takes that one to center field. Wells, the warning track, and he's got it. Orioles retired, but not before they add a couple of runs on 3 hits coming off the bat of Nolan Reimold. His second major league home run, the long shot, upping the lead to 5-2. Our broadcast by the man in charge of the Orioles baseball operations, Andy McPhail, that Matt Wieters will be here to make his major league debut on Friday.
38 games at AAA Norfolk, 285, 5 home runs, 26 RBIs, and he has done a good job of catching. Donnie Werner, the catching instructor, has been watching closely the maturation of Matt Wieters behind the plate. He's a leader. He has a great ability to throw, catch, and there's going to be an adjustment. There's no question about it. You come to the big leagues, you got to be up to speed on all of the hitters you're facing. You got to know your own pitchers, but Dave Tremblay, Rick Kranz can certainly take him and really kind of lead him and get him through these games, and I think everybody's excited about the news.
AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Hey, baby, got a little Barry White going here at the ballpark here. Hey, come on now. See, Barry White does those things to people. People just get all excited and start hanging off roofs and everything else. They had the kiss cam going to Barry White. That was interesting. Here's Marco Scudero. But you got to be here to see it. And the pitch to him is taken for a strike. Scudero has a double single and has hit into a double play. Batting at 286. Good series for him here. He's had 4 hits and 8 at bats in the first 2 games. Matt Albers out of the bullpen. Retired the side in order in the 6th inning.
I tell you what, Matt Albers, since his return to the minor leagues, has been a strike throwing machine. He really has learned to trust that moving fastball, making a lot of quality pitches down in the zone.
2-strike count on Scudero. Put a little bit of that drying agent both on the mound and around the plate. Well, that mist still coming down. Here's the 0-2 delivery, and Albers will miss outside with it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jim Johnson in the pen.
See Alan Dunn there, the bullpen coach, with that clipboard. They've got the lineup, they've got the scouting reports. You can remind Johnson of the appropriate approach to the hitters as they work their way through the lineup in this inning. And he will look at that clipboard and talk about where they are in the lineup, who Johnson could possibly face. Just a little reminder, and the pitchers, they all go over the scouting report prior to the series, but Alan Dunn is there to remind them as they get prepared to go into the game.
And that'll be a base hit into right center field. Into the warning track. Nick Markakis will get it back in, and it is a double. So Scudero continues to be red hot at the top of the order, his third hit of the ball game. You can vote for Adam Jones, Nick Markakis, and the rest of your favorite O's for the All-Star game by going to Orioles.com. Vote orange, save green. By voting for the Birds, the maximum 25 times you will receive a free upper reserve seat to any non-prime O's game after the break. So vote early, vote often. Details Orioles.com/vote orange. Marco Scudero becoming a quintessential leadoff batter. 13 on the year, 2 tonight in the doubles department, and on with nobody out. Here is Hill. 0 for 3 in the ball game. He has a 9-game hit streak coming into this game, leading the majors in hits. The Oriole pitchers, Birkin and Albers, have been able to hold him off the board so far. 6 home runs in May. He's never had more home runs in any one month of his career than the 6 he's had in this month of May. 0-1 delivery to him. Good pitch, Albers. 0-2.
A couple of great young players in the American League East. Adam Jones, the Orioles center fielder. Aaron Hill, the Blue Jays second baseman. They are 1-2 in many offensive categories around the American League.
0-2 delivery on the way. Popped it up first. Foul territory. Huff's got it. Hill's retired. Scudero stays at second. 1 away here in the 7th inning. And with 1 away, Adam Lind coming up. He has doubled, has an RBI, has walked, and hit into a fielder's choice. Lind hitting at .293 on the season. 7th inning, so Toronto, they've got to take advantage of these chances again. They continue to struggle. Runners in scoring position. 2 for 10 in this ball game.
Gary, you mentioned it early on how the phrase around baseball is commanding your fastball. Boy, Matt Albers has done that. Down in the zone with good movement on his sinking fastball, but the strikes have been quality strikes. And that's exactly what Rick Kranz wants to see from Matty Albers, is a lot of low strikes. Give yourself a chance to have quick at bats. Ground balls come from low strikes.
Keep the defense alive behind you by doing so. The 0-1 delivery on the way and a ground ball to first base. Backhanded Huff. Albers getting over to cover. And there are 2 down. Scudero moves over to third base. A note today, the Supreme Court nominee of Sonia Sotomayor, the first Hispanic Supreme Court justice, announced today to go through the hearings. For many baseball fans, you may not realize she has a nickname, Baseball Savior. She was the federal judge who forced Major League Baseball players and owners to start the game up again. In 1995, there had been a 234-day strike that got taken to court, and she ordered that the clubs open the gates and put the players back on the field. She was the federal judge involved in that, and it has been one of the much noted decisions of her career, and today she's nominated for the Supreme Court.
Yeah, tremendous honor, and certainly one that is a breakthrough, and obviously a well-thought selection by President Obama.
Interesting to have a baseball connection to it. Strike taken on the outside corner.
Well, certainly one of the big black eyes in the history of baseball, and not having a World Series in 1994, and a federal judge decided, you know what, enough is enough. Let's get back on the field.
And it was only 3 days after her decision was announced that they actually went back to work. Pitch is taken down low. Runner on at third base. 2 down. 7th inning. Vernon Wells has doubled. 1 for 3. Wells gets another RBI chance here. You have to believe the Toronto players are pressing, knowing how scarce these RBI hits have become in this 7-game losing streak. Albers gets a wicked heater in, and a 1-ball 2-strike count.
92 miles an hour, one of the few pitches he's thrown up in the strike zone. Vernon Wells was late on it. 7-game losing streak. They had a 9-game losing streak last May, but it has been a dramatic turnaround for a team that got off to a great start.
Here's the 1-2 delivery on the way. Swung on and missed. Albers gets the strikeout. A runner left on at third base. 7th inning stretch time brought to you by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey. Please drink. A 5-2 lead. Jason Birkin coming up to make his first major league start has got a chance to be the winner. Being told by Andy McPhail during our second inning interview that it is going to be Matt Wieters' Day Friday. He'll come up and make his major league debut against the Tigers on Friday night.
Well, Gary, you know what? The word down in the minor leagues has to be real positive now. They've seen Jason Birkin come up, and Jason Birkin's come up. They saw Brad Bergeson come up. Nolan Ramos has come up. And all the minor leaguers down there says, you know what? If you do well down here, you're going to get a chance. Now Matt Wieters is going to come up on Friday. So I think Andy McPhail and his staff has really turned the organization around with the depth of the players we're seeing now. You've got a left fielder that's playing every day. You're going to have a catcher that's going to play an awful lot. And you're probably going to have 3 rookie pitchers in the starting rotation. That speaks volumes about how quickly they've turned things around.
Well, that is a ton. Orioles batting here, bottom of the 7th inning. Markakis will take it inside. And there's going to be somebody else called up from AAA in order to do some more pitching, as Koji O'Hara is not going to be able to make his start on Thursday.
Yeah, it sounds like it might be David Hernandez. If it is Hernandez, he's got 60 strikeouts now in AAA. That's second in the league behind Tommy Hanson, the much-touted prospect of the Atlanta Braves. Hanson has 73 strikeouts, but Hernandez is a strike-throwing machine, much like what we saw tonight from Berkins, because Hernandez has got what they call a swing-and-a-miss sinker, which is kind of unusual. Most sinkers are put into play, but Hernandez has got a special arm as well.
Nick Markakis will be retired on the pop out to Hill at second base. And obviously what you hope is going to continue if you're an Oriole fan is that the offense that has been so good so far this season is going to be something that you're going to see through the summer of baseball.
Absolutely. Aubrey Huff had a big blow tonight against Ricky Romero. He hit his 8th home run well above the flag court in right field. And then Adam Jones, after the 2-out walk to Brian Roberts, goes deep for the 11th time. This team is balanced up and down the order. They've got a lot of speed in the lineup now with Historis at the bottom, Brian Roberts at the top. They can take you deep. They can manufacture runs, and certainly the prospects of having a young switch hitter like Matt Wieters down in the order is awfully promising as well.
Melvin Mora up there, a 5-2 ball game with the O's on top. Melvin outfield deep on him. He'll take the pitch. And what you just mentioned, Buck, what the offense of the Orioles, the way it's performing right now, does, it allows you to bring up a Matt Wieters, who you were going to look to in the long term to be a big part of the offense, but to break in slowly, to hit at a lower part of the order where you don't have the great number 3, 4, 5 expectations.
Yeah, think about the prospects of having Matt Wieters hit 8th in your lineup as a switch hitter ahead of the 9th hitter, also a switch hitter, Cesar Historis. Then the leadoff hitter, oh, by the way, a switch hitter in Brian Roberts. A lot of versatility in this lineup, and I think the lineup offensively is really starting to come together. We know know what the top of the lineup can do. Melvin Moore is a great hitter in his own right in the middle of the order, and these guys can score tons of runs, and that should really support what looks to be an ever younger starting rotation.
Well, all to look forward to. More importantly for the moment is that the Orioles have got a chance to win this game too against the Jays. 5-2 lead in the bottom of the 7th. Melvin Moore is standing in with one down here in the 7th inning. Moore a double, a single, and he has grounded out. A couple of hits, 6 at bats here in the 2 games. Down to third base. That'll be a foul ball. If you're a right-handed batter against Jesse Carlson, who came out of the bullpen in the last inning, you really get a look at his pitches, because he winds from that first base side on the delivery, and for right-handed hitters you're looking right at it, and probably have a pretty good pickup point on him because he wheels that arm out pretty wide.
Now that's not unlike what happened to George Sherrill there for a while, because the hitters could see the ball for a long time.
That one to right field, shy of the warning track. England is out there, and there are 2 down.
Anytime you're a left-handed pitcher and you allow the hitters to see the ball, they can track it for a long time. And George Sherrill felt like there was something wrong in his delivery, closed up the delivery, hides the ball much better now, and because of that he's been much more successful recently.
2 down, nobody on. Aubrey Huff's home run, 2nd inning, his 8th of the year, and a shot towards the middle. Scudero will charge, running throw, and they will get the out. And a 1-2-3 inning. The Orioles on top, 5-2. The candidates for tonight. Adam Jones has had his 11th home run and a couple of RBIs. For Berken, the starter, a couple of runs, 7 hits over 5 innings, could be the winner. And for Reimold, his 2nd major league home run and 2 RBIs. Text in your vote now. A, B, or C. 518-62. We go to the 8th inning. Millar, Rowland, and Overbay. And in case you thought Scudero had gained 500 pounds and 5 feet and inches, no, not really. That was Rowland playing short, the third baseman on the shift, who fielded that last ground ball. I was really tempted to get down and see Scudero and see just how he'd done that.
It's in such a short period of time.
Kevin Millar, first ball hitting. Boy, Mora was way back. And we'll get him.
Tell you what, that takes a lot of concentration, because Melvin was so deep at third base, and look at how far he is behind the baseline. Got a long run and gloves it, transfers it, throws a strike. Of course, Millar doesn't run well, and Melvin knows that. But look at the long run, great concentration as he gloves it and rights himself to throw a strike to Aubrey Huff for the first out.
And now Scott Rowland will stand in. 5 runs, 11 hits for the O's, 2 runs, 8 hits for the Jays. No errors in the ball game. Jim Johnson down low. Albers worked a couple of innings, 1 hit, 1 strikeout. Jim Johnson on now. You get these starters getting to at least the 5th and beyond, and all of a sudden the bullpen can be a whole lot better.
Yeah, it can be much more efficient. Johnson worked twice in that National Series. He pitched 2 innings on Friday night, allowed a hit, and then worked an inning on Saturday as well.
And Roland will take the pitch for a strike. The Orioles hoping to improve the starts, as their starter ERA at 5.68 coming into the game is next to last in the American League for starters. Only Cleveland is lower, and as a result of that, the innings pitched have been among the fewest in the American League. Oakland has been the only other team with fewer innings from their starters, and the reverse ends up being true. The bullpen ends up being the most, or second most used. Taken down low, 3-2 count on Roland.
Yeah, and that will catch up to you. They need the starters to pitch deeper into the ballgame. Jeremy Gutser did a heck of a job last night in some nasty conditions to pitch 7 strong innings.
And Johnson will surrender the walk. 1 down and 1 on in the 8th. The Orioles and Blue Jays will wrap up this 3-game series tomorrow afternoon at 1:35. We hope you'll plan to skip out of work early and stretch out your holiday weekend just one more day. Orioles baseball. Tickets start as low as $9. Call the Orioles 888-848-BIRD to go to Orioles.com. Tomorrow afternoon.
Great pitching matchup. Rich Hill goes to the mound for the Orioles, and the Blue Jays' Roy Halladay looking for his 9th win.
That is taken inside for a ball. Is Halladay pitching well so far?
Not bad.
Not bad.
Good. It's okay. He's 8-1. Lost the last time out.
So the Orioles will get a chance to match their offense against one of the game's best and maybe the best right now. Halladay is second in ERA in the American League. He leads in wins. Greinke's got 7 right behind him. He's worked more innings than any other pitcher. He is 4th in strikeouts and will start against the O's in tomorrow's game. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Lyle Overbay. Runner at first. Johnson's pitch is taken inside. 2-1. Overbay a single. First time up. 1 for 3. Now has a 6-game hit streak. 2-1. The umbrellas have been up for the entire game, and the players have had to work through the continuing mist tonight. 2-1 delivery. Overbay and the off-speed pitch and a good one. 2-2.
Yeah, and way out in front that time, and that's exactly what you talk about, throwing changeups and fastball counts. And Johnson's got a good changeup, and his bottom falls out. 84 miles an hour, about 10 miles an hour slower than his fastball.
Left-handers hitting only 205 off him. The right-handers 310. Here's the 2-2 delivery. That'll be down low. How does a right-handed pitcher have such severely better numbers against left-handed batters as opposed to right-handers?
The changeup.
That very pitch we saw.
Exactly. Because he has such good velocity. Left-handed hitters have a tendency to be conscious of getting that fastball, and then he throws the changeup, and that's a real neutralizer.
3-2 delivery towards short as Torres. Roberts 1 relay. Double play. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. We go to the bottom half of the 8th inning with the Orioles leading it by 3.
in the bottom of the 8th. And as we heard all throughout the broadcast, Matt Wieters will be coming to the big leagues on Friday, and he sure is just a nice farewell, I guess you could say, there in the minor leagues. He went 4 for 4 tonight with a double and 4 RBI. As Norfolk played Toledo, he came into the game with a 285 average. So I guess he's showing maybe he's outgrown the minor leagues. Gary?
Well, as of Friday, it'll be official that he's outgrown it.
That's interesting. Toledo's scheduled starter tonight was Jeremy Bonderman, making a rehab start for the Mud Hens, and you got to believe one of those at-bats at least came against Jeremy Bonderman.
Scott Downs, another left-hander, comes out of the bullpen. Jesse Carlson worked an inning and 2/3 and struck out 1. Another strikeout pitcher here in Downs. Dave Tremblay's ball club trying to make it 2 in a row over the Jays here at home, and they've got the lead. He will have to spend most of the postgame, though, talking about Matt Wieters.
He'll probably talk about Jason Berkins, too.
He wants to.
Yeah, you bet he will. And he'll talk about him first and foremost, because he is certainly worthy of some recognition for a fine start in his major league debut.
Downs on to face Ty Wigginton, who's taken the ball to right twice, and for that has gotten a single and a double. 2 for 3 in the game and a run scored. Wigginton now 225 on the year. Downs pitched to him, a breaking ball inside. Downs has not pitched since the 18th. He's been off for a while. He worked an inning in that ball game, walked 1, struck out 1. He's been off because there have been no clothing situations for him. They've been losing. That is taken inside. Save opportunities for Downs. He is 5 for 5. But not obviously in a save situation here. Just trying to keep this ball game at 3 runs and give the Jays a chance in the 9th inning. 2 ball, 1 strike count. And Wigginton will take that for a strike. Another chance here that the Jays may go into their 9th game tonight without having scored 3 runs. They just have not been able to produce runs. The pitching has not been all that bad, but for Cito Gaston's ball club, the offense that had done so well for them early on isn't there right now. Here's the 3-2 delivery. Wigginton to short. Nice play. And Scudero gets it over for the out. Ty Wigginton retired.
Nolan Reimold's had an interesting night tonight. In his first at bat, you can see through Exmo how he hits it off the end of the bat. That would be a fielder's choice right at the shortstop. Second at bat, it gets jammed down around the label. 4-3 put out. Third at bat, 3-2 fastball. Look at the squared up on the sweet spot. Deep drive to center field, his second major league home run. A 3-2 fastball out over the plate. Boy, did he square up on it.
Downs' pitch to him is inside for a ball. All of the Oriole runs tonight coming as a result of the long ball, the home runs. Here's the 1-0 delivery on the way. Fastball taken away. The Orioles came in ranked 8th in home runs with 48, right in the middle of the pack in the American League. 51 now with the 3 added for Dave Tremblay's ball club. Here's the 2-0 delivery. It sounded like it was foul tipped into the mitt, and a 2-ball 1 strike count.
That's the kind of swings you're supposed to take 2-0. You get a fastball, you think about doing some damage, and he saw the pitch out over the plate, just got a piece of it.
Reimold waiting, 2-1 delivery, and that is in there for a strike. 2-2. Reimold hitting .267, 6 RBIs on the season. And that one didn't miss by much, maybe down low, and a 3-ball 2 strike count.
Remember in spring training and even maybe into the first week of the season, Andy McPhail stated the roster you see opening day will not be the same roster you see in a month and a half, 2 months. And boy, has that played itself out.
Swung on and miss. So the strikeout for Downs. And more to come as far as the roster changes are concerned.
Now, Nolan Reimold has played every day since his recall and held his own. And now we have seen Jason Berkins and Brad Bergeson, and Rich Hill has rejoined the team. And Matt Wieters is on his way, and a lot of changes.
2 away. Base is empty. Zahn an 0 for 3. And the breaking ball to him will miss down low for a ball. Sherrill in the bullpen. Could be a save situation going to the 9th inning for him. And the 1-0 delivery. That one licked into left, and that will be a base hit. Lind up with it. Zahn is on. A 2-out single in the 8th inning. This Torres coming up.
Well, what a good swing by Greg Zahn. Fastball, he drills it into left field. Take a look at the swing, the balance, front foot down, great extension through the zone, and drives it into left field.
A dozen hits in the ball game now for the Orioles. Two down, runner at first base. That one to right field. That's going to be a base hit. Inglet chasing it down. Over to third base goes Zahn. It'll be a single. So as Torres has got his second hit, 2 for 4 in the game. First and third, 2 down.
Well, I tell you, we talk about his Torres hitting in this ballpark. He came into the game hitting 237 points higher at home than he did on the road, and 2 more hits tonight. Zahn goes first to third. And again, they turn the lineup over with the chance to expand their 3-run lead.
Torres is really batting with some confidence, isn't he, lately?
Yeah, he sure is. And he's had a couple of minor setbacks. He had the groin problem that cropped up in Kansas City. Missed some games in New York.
He is now 6 for 16 against Toronto.
And he and Brian Roberts, boy, they really look comfortable defensively.
So Roberts is up with 2 down, first and third. A walk, 2 singles, runs scored, and he is struck out. Downs delivery to him will miss away for a ball. Looking to make it a 3-hit ball game. And he'd add an RBI if he can get it. 1-0 delivery. Foul that one back, and a 1-ball-1-strike count.
You know, so often you forget about everyday players and their commitment to playing. Brian Roberts had to leave the game last night because he banged up his shin on a play at second base. He had a double and triple last night, and there was speculation, well, he's not going to be in the lineup today. He's an everyday player. Comes to the ballpark, and yeah, you don't feel 100% every day, but he gets himself right back into the lineup, and he's been on base 3 times.
1-1 delivery to him, a breaking ball. It's going to miss inside. A 2-ball-1-strike count on Roberts. A not unimportant run potentially out there. He's got that big hole between first and second. Overbay will hold the bag on his Torres. Here's the 2-1 delivery to him. Take it in the air to center field. Wells again back to the plate. Way back, reaching, cannot get it. It'll roll to the wall. 1 run is in. Is Torres coming around to score a 2 RBI double for Brian Roberts and a 7-2 lead.
Boy, you roll this lineup over, you're asking for trouble. That's a pretty good pitch. Change up, down, out over the plate. Watch the foot down, the extension, and he drives it. Great follow through as he had balance, and again another ball hit over Vernon Wells' head. And here comes his Torres scoring all the way from first base. A 2-run double for Brian Roberts.
Brian is on at second base. Another 2-out hit. 7 runs on 14 hits for the Orioles in this ball game, as Brian Roberts now with 20 runs batted in on the year, and Adam Jones gets another chance. and will foul it back into the screen.
Now, the turning point in this game came from Adam Jones defensively. This came in the 5th inning with 2 outs and a runner at first base. Brendan Wells hit a ball off the bullpen fence, but Jones gets it back to keep the run from scoring, and then he goes deep himself in the 5th inning, a 2-run shot. That's his 11th home run of the season.
Downs continues to have his problems on the mound, surrendering the hits and the RBIs in his appearances. Had a chance to get out of this inning, but the Orioles battle with 2 away and get their first runs of the ball game on something other than a homer, the Roberts double. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Jones fouls that one off. May have caught him in the batter's box as well. And 1 ball, 2 strike count.
Yeah, don't look now, but the Orioles have 14 hits. Just been one of those nights. Everybody in the lineup making contributions offensively. Everybody in the lineup has a hit.
And watching, and happily so, the starting pitcher for the Orioles made his major league debut tonight. Jason Birkin with a chance to be the winner. And the 1-2 delivery. That'll be looped into left field and caught. Line drive that stayed up for Lynn. But Roberts delivers 2 more RBIs, 3 hits in the inning. We go to the 9th, 7-2 O's. Fares, no hidden fees, and by Acura Advance. So without a save situation, Jim Johnson will stay on and try and wrap it up as we go to the 9th inning with the Orioles on top here 7-2. It'll be 8-9-1. Barajas, Inglet, and Scutaro are due up for the Jays, who right now are staring their 8th consecutive loss squarely in the face here in the 9th inning. Jim Johnson delivers a strike on the outside corner. Barajas an RBI single. 1 for 3. Lynn the other RBI in the 1st inning. Orioles have had the solo homer by Huff, 2 RBI homer Jones. Reimold's 2 RBI homer and the 2 RBI double by Brian Roberts. The Jays have not had an 8-game losing streak since May of 2007. They will update that if they do not come back in this game. Swung on and missed. Johnson gets the strikeout, his first, 1 away in the 9th. Update on the voting for the AT&T Player of the Game, and you still have a chance to vote. Text in your vote for A, B, or C right now. Jones on top with both the defensive play and his 11th home run. Birkin could win it. Reimold a homer. Text in your vote A, B, or C to 51862. The final results on O's Extra on the post-game show. Fastball is in for a strike. Inglett 0 for 3 in the ball game.
Jim Johnson in line for his second major league save. He had one last year. Opportunity to pitch a couple of innings here, and boy, his changeup has really come along, Gary. He has really gained confidence in that changeup that he can throw it almost at will.
There's the 1-1 delivery on the way, fouled back. You don't see many more saves in Major League Baseball that come outside of the pitcher coming in the ninth inning anymore.
Yeah. But the add-on capabilities of this Orioles offense is going to create those opportunities a little bit more frequently this summer.
1-2 delivery on the way, and that will be bounced in the dirt. 2-ball, 2-strike count on Inglett. Right back with you tomorrow afternoon, 1:35 first pitch time, as this series will be concluded with a day game tomorrow afternoon. Rich Hill and Roy Halladay. And the fastball will miss inside. A full count now, 3 balls and 2 strikes on the number 9 hitter Inglett. Orioles looking to improve their record against the Eastern Division to 9-16 with a victory here. Almost got him in the kitchen. 1-out walk here in the ninth.
Johnson really hangs on to this ball too long. You can see Inglett just barely gets out of the way of it. It's a 1-out walk here in the ninth inning.
Marco Scudero gets another chance at it. He's had a 3-hit game, 2 doubles and a single, and has hit into a double play and takes the pitch 1-0. And all you need to say about those tack-on runs is they are anything but that. Instead of a 5-2 ball game in the ninth, it's 7-2, and it just makes such a difference. Is what Toronto has to do to get that potential tying run up to the plate.
And it's so important. The bottom of the order again coming through with Zahn with his 2-out base hit. Asturias then delivered another 2-out base hit. And again tonight, the Orioles, their 2-out run scoring capabilities really devastating. When you think about the Blue Jays, just 1 out away from getting out of jams, and 2-out rallies really kill you.
1-ball, 1-strike delivery. Not holding the runner at first. And the count will go to 1-2 on Scudero. For Marco Scudero, he has had 3-hit ball games now 4 times on the season. Multi-hit games 15 times. And the 3-hit ball game here. 1-2 delivery. Scudero fights it off to hold it to a ball and 2 strikes. Orioles will hope that the bats can be quieted one more time in this series tomorrow. Johnson trying to finish this off. Runner at first, 1 away in the ninth. Hill waiting on deck. One-two delivery. Just missed. 2-2. 10,130 the announced attendance on this cold and rainy night. It was a dark and stormy night. Here's the 2-2 delivery. Left field. Reimold.
And if you ask Jason Birkin, he's going to tell you it was about 85 and sunny.
Couldn't have been nicer. 1 out away from Birkin getting his first major league win in his first major league game. Loser would be Ricky Romero coming off the DL, just his 4th major league start. He would go to 2-1. Strike on the outside corner. Hills had an 0 for 4. Probably his last chance to extend a 9-game hit streak that he currently has, but he's got an 0 for 4 in this ballgame. Johnson's delivery swung on, shattered bat, and he's got a base hit. So for Hill, a 10-game hit streak. Here in the 9th inning, he delivers a single. England goes to second base with 2 down.
Keeps the inning alive, and you can't make a better pitch than that. Jim Johnson shattered the bat of Aaron Hill, but he got enough of it to drive it past the outstretched glove of Cesar Asturias into left field.
Now Lynn will come up, a double, 1 for 3 and a walk. Johnson going to the back of the mound here, needing only one more out to wrap this up. And that'll be fouled away. Wanted to note before we left that on this day in Major League history in 1959, Harvey Haddix for Pittsburgh against Milwaukee had a perfect game, 13th inning. Before his third baseman Don Houck committed a throwing error. Joe Adcock of Milwaukee would then hit a home run in that inning that looked like it decided the game. Fouled away, but Adcock passed the base runner in front of him while he was going around the bases, creating a nightmare for the official score. The ultimate game would be a 1-0 win for Milwaukee. Harvey Haddix would lose a perfect game in the 13th inning and be the losing pitcher. And most every paper the next day said the score was 2-0, but it wasn't. It was a 1-0 game. One of baseball's strangest games. Pitches inside, and a much talked about performance by Harvey Haddix. 13 innings, perfect game, and you lost it.
Yeah, the diminutive Harvey Haddix weighed about 155 pounds, and he pitched 12 innings of perfect baseball.
Strange game. 2 on, 2 down. A 1-ball, 2-strike count on Lynn. Johnson. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Great stop made by Zahn to hold the runners. 2-2. Toronto not going quietly here in the 9th inning. And again, second time George Sherrill's been up. 2-2 delivery. Jim Johnson up to 35 pitches thrown since coming in from the bullpen. Here's the 2-2 delivery. Chopper, Johnson. And this game's in the books for the O's, as they have taken the first 2, winning this one by a score of 7-2 against Toronto, making a winner out of Jason Birkin in his major league debut, getting 3 long balls to help the